All right. Should be live now. What up, dude?
Boy there.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good, man.
You got some tea? All
I did not
right.
get some. I did not get tea. I think
Should
that's
be
just regular old
live
plain water.
now.
Nothing exciting.
That's fair.
Maybe
What up, dude?
maybe a little bit. We'll
How you doing? How you
spice it
doing?
up with something boozy. I'm good, man.
All right. Stream's gonna have a weird time for a bit because they are gonna hear you and me talking to each other over you and me talking to each other. But I'll just do my audio check. So it's muted now, and I turned you up a little bit. Okay.
I got some. Might close this window. Some fucking people with a leaf blower. Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear anything.
All right, good.
I'm literally deaf.
Oh man, we already got a third, a tertiary partner.
It's two blokes, one coat. What up?
Yes, hello.
Is bees.
Oh my gosh, so many.
Uh-huh. It's just gonna be kind of a chill stream. So, oh yeah, I should actually talk about that real quick. Yeah. So this stream, not really super structured, just gonna be chilling with some people, working on some stuff, and offering insights on, for me, mostly the three factions that I'm actually comfortable with: Empire, Ogre Kingdoms, and Skaven right now. I don't really want to offer too much advice on a faction I don't know that well. Like, oh, sure, I'll teach you how to play Demons of Chaos.
Oh, are you streaming right now?
Hell yeah.
Oh shit! I just jumped in because there's people here.
There
All
is
right.
there a mod that I should have, like a map pack or something?
No. Nope, just base game.
Cool.
Umbrella, would you care to be the opponent for Mr. Bees?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
If we're gonna do things, how do you do the no clip camera?
Oh, the debug camera?
Debug camera. Yeah, I know you have to go into some files. I had someone help me with it in Warhammer 2, but it didn't work, and also I have no idea how to do it. And I will watch this stream later because I am way too drunk to listen to anything you have to say right now.
That's fair. Yeah, I can DM you how to do it. It's not super lengthy, but it is a bit, and I have to go refresh my knowledge. Nurgle's Hot Yoga Studio. I know who that is.
Nerdles Hot
Yeah.
Yoga Studio. The part is the Party Elite on YouTube have a good tells you how to do it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah,
I can send
Party
you the
Elite.
YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
he's a good guy.
I know you're supposed to go through the files, type in, look for certain command or whatever. I've done that for Star Sector. I've been able to edit the game files, but I am straight off of YouTube. You know, I don't know how to do that off of just freelance it. You know.
Mm.
Oh, today's your lucky day.
Oh, thank you, Umbrella.
Umbrella's
That's what
a
we're here
good
for.
lad, good guy. Hi, Black Knight. How you doing? Traitor, Venge, Tom Bombadil.
What's this? Three blokes, one coat. What is the name here?
Two blokes, one
Two
coat.
two blokes,
He's a
blokes.
PE.
3 blokes. That's one too many now.
He's a PE degenerate.
It's hard. It's hard
Goddamn
to
right.
keep track.
All right.
I'm already confused. All right, I'll go with Skaven. I know that the other guy is much better than me, and therefore I don't mind if you say out loud what I'm doing, because I would like advice on how to actually make an army that doesn't suck.
Yeah, he does a lot of this stuff, and you can feel free to hop in. So I'm not talking about you in front of you, but like he does stuff where he's like, "I'm gonna take this army no matter what you do. Now here's some advice." So he's not. It's part of the reason. I mean, I wanted to work with him on this stream is he's not the type of person to.
You can even look at my army if you want, but I mean, I'm gonna bring this. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. So Skaven into Greenskins. How much do you know about Skaven?
I did a campaign with Skaven.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So the greenskin matchup is two sides largely trying to do the same thing. If you kill the other guy's lord, the game's pretty much over because you can cycle route stuff. Both these are low leadership factions.
Okay.
So it's more important for you to pick someone who can't die rather than someone who's going to go dive the other guy and kill him. And
Okay.
right now the meta is very favored towards Ikit Claw.
Ikit Claw.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you can get your caster, you can get him on a Doom Wheel, which causes terror, which is good against greenskins, and you can get the Flensing Ruin spell, which helps you snipe the enemy lord. So
Alright.
until Flensing Ruin gets nerfed, you are uniquely everything you want in a lord is Dr. Claw. So
Okay.
if you throw him on his Doom Wheel and then only take Flensing Ruin, that'll make him pretty cheap.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Dr. Claw, he has a PhD in nuclear energy.
He does have a PhD in nuclear energy. So
how about let's see. How about the passive?
you don't want the lore passive because Flensing Ruin's expensive, so you only get 2 or 3 casts of it during the whole game. So it seems extremely
Okay.
unlikely you'll get use out of the passive. So you want the Brass Orb,
Alright.
his Doom Wheel, and Flensing Ruin, and that looks like the correct amount of money. So I think he's good.
Okay. Oh wow, that is cheap.
He's very
Alright.
cheap. Other than that, assassins are okay, but you don't need one with Flensing Ruin. So you can skip the heroes. You're entirely good. So now you just want a thick army. In game 3, Greenskins
By
front.
thick, do you mean a lot of durable units or a very wide formation?
You're gonna end up with both in this matchup. Greenskins have been
Okay.
struggling to kill anything quickly, so you can take 5 clan rats with spears and use that as your front line, and they'll actually hold a deceptively long time.
Okay.
And then,
And,
as most boring things go, you're going to want some globes to clear out the infantry. Anywhere between 2 to 4 is fine. I'd personally go with like 3.
all right. How about guns? Are those important in this matchup?
There's one you asked me about earlier today. That's pretty good.
I did ask you that, yeah. But I'm wondering,
Yeah.
say, what kind of decision should I be made? Like, why would I pick Ratlings over Jezzails or like a regiment?
Rattling
Which might-
guns are pretty much exclusively anti-air or anti-gigantic single entity monster. Greenskins have very little air power. Literally only their lord could be mounted.
Okay.
And the odds they take a rogue idol into you isn't very good. So rattling guns are off the table in this matchup, unfortunately.
Okay.
Purple globes are worse than green globes in every instance. Warp fire throwers are trash. So really, it's just, do you need anti-air? Take rattlings. Do you need anti-kite? Take Jezzails. And anti-everything else is globes. You will want
Okay.
one Jezzail in this matchup, preferably the invisible one, just so
Okay.
that the greenskins don't take like 6 skirmish cav and chuckle and run away while they do overcast spirit leech on your globes. Something to keep them honest, make sure they actually walk into you.
Right. So I want to bring poison rats or poison wolf rats.
Yes, you do. They're very good.
Okay. It's good to hear that I have one good instinct.
You do. And now
Okay.
you can see you still have 5,000 gold left.
Yeah, that's
You've done
that's
a lot of your army. Rat ogres are always
Right.
good. Take between 2 and 4. I usually opt for 4 because I just like them, but depends on what you need them
Yeah,
for.
that's fair.
And now your build's done. So now is the point where you can throw in whatever flavor you want, but this is the core. You have everything you need. So it's like, well, do you want some... I mean, Skaven Slaves can fill it out. You could throw a Warp Lightning Cannon to fill it out, but this is... The amount of fun you had left is... funds you had left is just do whatever you want with it, whatever you feel like playing with on that particular map with that particular play style. So
What's your take on Plague Claws versus Warp Lightning Cannons?
Plague Claws are better in the artillery duel and better against cavalry these days. The Warp Lightning Cannon's better against single entity sniping.
Okay. And so, for the same reason that I'm not taking the rattlings, I probably don't want the warp lightning cannons then.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
Not in this matchup. And if you do take the 2 warp fire throwers you're sitting on, you're going to want some more melee infantry at this point because you have 5 range to protect and you have 5 infantry. So you want a couple more.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
You need bodies.
Let's see. Should I get I'll have one of those as like a. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Don't forget to spend your last bits on a chevron. I think you can upgrade one of the clan rat spears to 25 gold.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And you should be good to go. We'll talk about deployment when we get into the game, but for now it's solid.
Cool.
And I look over at Umbrella, and he changed his entire build just to counter you.
I've just been enjoying the information,
Well, like I said, I don't mind him knowing everything about my build, because even if I had a good build against whatever he's bringing, my micro is terrible. My decision making is not where it needs to be for me to be competitive. I just, I want some help with decision making.
Damn, he's gonna beat me now.
Of course, it's gonna beat you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought this matchup was pretty hard for Greenskins coming into Game 3. Because it used to be kind of hard in 2, because Savage Orcs were a threat. They weren't common, but when you did take them, they just blitzed through a Skaven slave line. Now on Ultra Funds, it's just, Ultra Size, it feels like it takes them forever to kill even a Skaven slave. And it's like, oh, okay, well, there goes a lot of teeth from your matchup, so.
Yeah, it's,
Wait,
Skaven are really good right now, but I think Greenskins can still. I don't think it's like super heavily Skaven favored, but it's definitely, I don't know, maybe like a 60-40 or something, 55-45.
Yeah.
Oh, so you said that, what was it? Oh, I forgot already. Fantastic. Sorry.
You're fine. I said a lot of things.
That's true. And I'm trying my very best to remember as much of it as possible, because you know a lot more than me, and you are gracing me with your wisdom.
I am the literal best person on the planet. Some people are out there trying to cure cancer, and I'm just playing video games, and I think I'm better than them.
Yeah, no, that tracks. That makes
tracks.
sense.
Okay. So, your clan rats can take the front line. You'll generally want to space them out and leave about half the unit's distance between them. Putting them directly next to each other is generally not worth it. You loaded into the game. You obviously haven't moved them yet, but this is so close together that you cover much less space, and all you need is space. There's no way the enemy can micro appropriately to get between your guys. Something's going to get caught up, something's going to drag them back, and it's just no one can get through there. I supposed to spike them. Okay. Warp fire throwers, actually, they're currently in a pretty neat little formation where if you put them thin, then they can fire through that sideline. You just really want to get that discourage aura that they have on them.
So, by thin, do you mean a couple of long lines, or?
Yeah, a couple long lines. Not that long, but
Okay.
maybe 4 wide.
Okay.
And they can fire in between. That's fine. And then you're gonna want, how many globes did you end up taking? 2? Okay.
Yeah. So.
You want 1 globe in the middle.
Okay.
Because the warp fire throwers can eat shit and die as long as they keep that globe safe. The other one, since you have an even number and an odd formation, you're just gonna have to pick a side. That left seems fine, but you don't want to position your globes on the outside of your formations because they're the most valuable thing. So you want them at the heart, but you don't want them right next to each other because if one gets compromised, both get compromised. So spreading them out is good, but you always want one in the middle.
Okay.
The rest of this is looking good.
All right. Should I? I think I'm gonna throw the Giselles on the other side, so that. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
They've Better line of sight.
Drag infantry to call information to march through gaps like that all the time. What? He's not gonna march his warp fire throwers forward. Not gonna do that. Okay. The rest of this is doing all right. Now, the wolf rats need to team up with some rat ogres and run around with them. But remember, they're defensive. So as soon, I mean, you know you're fighting greenskins, but as soon as the battle starts, you need to assess: am I gonna win the ranged fight, or am I gonna lose it? Now, versus the greenskins of Skaven, 99 times out of 100, you're gonna win it. So your mobile stuff needs to protect your ranged units, because the ranged units will win the fight if they're still alive. It's a common mistake that even I do from game to game if I'm just playing on autopilot, is like, I see some goblin archers all alone, and I send my wolf rats out to kill them. Well, that's cool, but now some spider riders are going to kill your globes, and I would rather have an alive globe than a dead goblin.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So, your wolf rats and your rat ogres are playing defense.
All right.
All
Should
right?
I have some rat ogres in my center to just kind of keep it, I guess, threatening, because I only have clan rats? In terms of
A
infantry?
bit, but you're gonna lose the melee fight anyway. That one rat ogre that's in front of your globes right now, he's just gonna get friendly fired. You should probably back him off to kind of be near-ish to the Jezzails. I know you have an invisible. The Jezzails and the Eshin Triad is invisible, so you don't really want to put them directly on top of the Jezzails, but near enough that they can hop over and help out if needed.
Right. Okay.
This formation looks good. Before you start the game, I'll shut up after this, but remember, Ikit Claw is a caster, and the Doom Wheel's to keep him safe. He is not meant to just fly into, whatever trolls or Azhag or anything. He needs to play like a Skaven. Run away. Keep Ikit safe. Some
Yeah,
people
that's a
on the
good
Doom
call.
Wheel just YOLO him into a fight, and then he can get trapped and killed very quickly, and yeah, so that's bad. Other than that, your formation looks good. Keep your ranged assets
Okay.
alive, and let's see how it goes.
All right.
Let's do it. Good luck and have fun.
Ugh, I certainly hope that I have fun.
You're gonna do great. So looking at his build right away, again, I'm not gonna tell you too much stuff, but like, he has one archer, so you can immediately assess, okay, I'm gonna win the ranged fight. It's all about keeping my ranged alive and shooting as long as possible. Pretty
Do I
easy game.
overcast Cleansing Ruin?
When you possibly can, onto his lord, yes.
Okay.
Pretty much only his lord. It doesn't do any damage at all to infantry or cavalry or anything like that. Spider riders. Gold chevron stone trolls. Umbrella, you madman.
So it's the good kind.
You didn't notice the chevron goblins?
Are they?
Some elite level goblins right there.
Those are some bronze chevron goblins. I'm curious that you're taking Squigs versus Skaven. I don't think you would need them to punch through a Skaven slave front line.
They have AP and anti-infantry for the globes, and they're not infantry size, so they don't take quite the punishment from the volleys,
That's fair.
and they cause fear. They got a lot of good things going for them against Skaven.
Mm-hmm. Are your warp fire throwers on fire at will? Yeah, they are.
Shit.
Okay,
Everything is on skirmish. That's not good.
good. Oh, skirmish. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering why they
Oh.
weren't firing, but yeah, warp fire thrower is actually insta routing the Squigs, which is pretty cool. Good for them. And Ikit's Terror will be quite nice. I don't think Squigs are ITP. Oh wait, they are? Holy crap!
Yeah.
Squigs are ITP?
Oh, what is
Yeah.
ITP?
Immune
Oh.
to psychology. They can't get terror routed, but they can get naturally routed. They still have low leadership. It's just badass as fuck that they have ITP. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Okay. Things are
What'd you
overall
say
going
about-
about how we expected. Your Ashen Triads caught those Forest Goblins quite nicely. Natty Boobos are going to get shut down. They've used about half their ammunition, but sometimes sacrifices have to be made. It gets currently swamped into Swamp Things, the trolls. You're going to want your globes
Oh,
to shoot at them
yeah.
and save them, because globes do a stupid amount of damage, even to trolls.
Alright. Jeez, where am I?
Overall, things are going all right. You've secured your Jezzails almost. If your Rat Ogres stop chasing those Spider Riders, you can get the Jezzails back up online. Trolls have overrun your front. That's quite usual. Your Rat Ogres are out there fighting. Not too bad. Warzag's been avoiding you. It gets near some stone trolls. He's going to want to fuck off and run away from
Let's
all
get him
that.
out of there.
Rat Ogres have almost finished those gold chevron stone trolls. Wow, those guys are hanging in there. Alright, they're running now. Oh, effigy to the git.
Is he enraged? Why can't I move him?
He got netted by effigy to the git. Now he can run, and he is.
Right.
But Umbrella is starting to overwhelm your lines a little bit. Jezzails are back online and shooting, but they'll probably be shut down soon. Look around, most of the clan rats have run off. Though that one Flensing Rune has done half of Warzag's HP. That's why that spell is kind of some bullshit right now. Rat Ogres fighting Stone Trolls. The Greenskins have Wurzag. He's healthy enough. They have some archers, but that isn't really the most of your concerns. If you can take out the Stone Trolls, you might have a shot in this game. Otherwise, at the moment, you are a little disfavored, I would say, but you're fighting cool Umbrella, so it's not shocking.
Alright.
But, yeah, if you can somehow get rid of those Stone Trolls, your Rat Ogres and Wolf Rats pairing Autobahn is a really good pair. The poison plus just the overall surround is doing good work, so nice stuff. And Brass Orb onto the Swamp Things with your Eshin Triads chasing him. That's quite nice. He has a Goblin Big Boss running after you, but if it just keeps running in different directions, he should be
Yeah, I'm
able to
gonna
avoid
poison
that.
that big boss so I
Yeah.
can get away from him.
Go, Wolf Rats, go!
Oh,
Do you have your next Cleansing Ruin?
yeah.
Okay. Eat shit, Wurzag. Oof. I think you got double hit by Overcast, which just happens. Wolf Rat's tearing apart the big boss. Unfortunately, you're about out of lads. Ooh, you have some full health Rat Ogres on the backfield with some Warp Fire Throwers. If your Warp Fire Throwers help the Rat Ogres out, they might rout those spiders.
They also might route the Rat Ogres.
I don't think the Rat Ogres take the burnt debuff. Yeah, they don't
No,
lose
but
leadership,
they-
just the enemy does.
No, but they do take friendly fire.
True.
Warp fire throwers are pretty notorious for that.
But if you think Warp Fire Throwers deal any damage whatsoever, you're
Oh.
trolling.
Yeah, my lord's routed. Yep, that's over.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
pretty good. He ended up with just 2 archers left alive, and then a straggling of other units.
I thought he only started with 1 archer. Oh, he had 2.
They're
I
still.
don't think I
Right.
did anything to his archers.
Yeah, but they didn't do that much to you either. Like, they're a decent part of his army. I wouldn't take them out of the Greenskin army, but it's like it's not worth your effort to really take them out. Your bigger problems, as you noticed, were the trolls bowling through your front lines, squigs running all over, spiders running all over, archers
my gaps
poking
in my
in.
line were too big. The squigs just ran right through the gaps.
Yeah, you did rat off
Yeah.
most of the squigs.
I mean, like when you have that much range stuff, you're gonna take a lot of punishment on the way in. But like once the trolls get in, then that's when, as long as they don't rout, they take care of those weapons team pretty quickly.
Yeah, so I think what I would do is probably want to swap one of these. Oh, I put in a flamethrower by accident. Swap one of these ogres for another globe at least.
You could get rid of 2. The Warpfire Throwers are fun, but there's a reason I don't usually take them.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you get rid of those 2, you could honestly get a Storm Vermin with Halberds. Just 1. And then a Skaven Slave to make your 20 stack or whatever. But
Yeah.
1 Elite Halberd would be nice if you're worried about getting rolled over by trolls and spiders and squigs and anything.
Even
large.
and you're the Skaven master, but even like a hell pit or like something like a big terror causing monster can be pretty good against the greenskins, especially if you can get rid of my if you get my archers off, then it's like the trolls will just like route pretty quickly to something like that. But it's also very susceptible to those. Like if those goblin archers are allowed to just shoot like that, they can take down that hell pit pretty good. So, but I've faced people and had that be a little bit of a problem for me to clear, or brood horrors too, because they're really fast. They can chase the trolls off and keep them terror routed. That's like something that I've had some trouble with in the past as greenskin player.
Yeah, brood horrors are actually pretty nice. I think the
Alright.
Flensing Runecaster is too much to ignore, though. Like, it's so hard not to take a Flensing Runecaster.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, you can bring like the Packmaster on a brood horror as a hero, or like a hell pit A-bomb. But your army's gonna get a little narrower, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Human boy, how do you feel about Eshin Triads?
You know I hate Eshin Triads, but they have their place.
You hate Eshin Triads?
I hate Eshin Triads. I think they're trash, dude.
Oh, I played some Domination. I fell back in love with Eshin Triads. They were so good.
The main thing I don't like about Eshin Triads is they get raffle stomped by cavalry, which is exactly what I usually want to use to fight them with. But if you aren't braced, like if you actually give them attack orders onto cavalry and cavalry are attacking them, they're going to take so much damage on the charge.
Yeah,
It's
and
tragic.
they have really low HP.
Yeah.
Do you want me to pick a different faction and you continue Skaven, or is someone else hopping in? What's the next? Or am I popping out and you're hopping in? How's the cadence?
Oh, I don't know. Bees, what do you want to do? You want to play Skaven again, or do you want to talk about a different faction?
I mean,
Umbrella's a specialist in greenskins and Nurgle.
I enjoy greenskins quite a bit, so you know.
All right, Umbrella, get out here.
I'll spectate.
Me?
Yeah, you go
and,
spectate.
Okay.
Do you want me to hop in?
Sure.
Are you kicking me out too?
No, you stay.
No. You're staying.
Who's ever the host now, open a second spec slot.
It'll be bees. Should be.
Bees!
Oh, I have to invite somebody or what?
You just need
Just
two
open
spec
another
slots.
spec slot. Open a second one.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
No worries.
What's the lobby name called?
Nurgle's Hot Yoga Studio.
Yeah, of course it is. What's the password? 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. All right, Umbrella, you take over. You got this.
Well, we'll see what we're facing first, but
What do you want to face as greenskins? I have limited knowledge on every faction.
I
mean,
have no
generally-
idea. I don't know enough about this game to want to gather matchup knowledge yet.
I
don't
mean,
know enough
generally,
about three either.
vampire counts is really a matchup you want to avoid. It's just especially now. I mean, I think most factions want to avoid them, so I don't even know if they count. But them dwarves can be really hard if they go gyro cheese. It can, especially on a big map. On a smaller map, it's not this bad. You can deal with it better. Then I've been trying to figure out the Ogre Kingdoms matchup. I just don't feel that great about it with greenskins, and then I'd say like Slanesh is pretty difficult for the same reasons Beastmen have a hard time with it, just because there's all the leadership bombs, and they have such good light cavalry, which is kind of one of the greenskins' strengths. So they just kind of outclass them there. But other than that, I think like in a lot of matchups, the greenskins can kind of hold their own. They're not as powerful as they used to be, but in like Warhammer 2. But I really like them against all the human factions. I think they're still really good against like Bretonia,
How about
Empire. Cathay, they can get balloon cheese just like the gyro cheese, but I mean, I think they can. I don't think it's like a terrible matchup. I've had some success playing it. I wouldn't like go out of my way. I wouldn't pick them as like a Cathay counter. I would rather play Nurgle. Nurgle's actually really good against Cathay. But like greenskins are, yeah, not. They're all right. It's probably like 60-40 Cathay, I would say. But they're really good against Kislev, Bretonia, Empire, I think. And then they're still decent against the elves, even though the elves got buffs, but they can still give pretty much all the elf factions a run for their money. And yeah, but just let me know what you're playing, and I'll try and help out.
Dirty Deeds, what you playing?
Oh, against Skaven.
Well,
Do you want to play against? I'll play as anything, but
Yeah, no, it's.
I am a memer at heart, so.
All right.
Oh, if you're going Skaven again, I mean, you saw what I brought against you, so I think trolls are really important in this matchup, because you got to break through into the weapons teams. So I think like definitely 2 or 3 trolls. You don't want to bring any expensive infantry because they're just going to get globed to death. Then as far as like your lord, Wurzag's good because of his buffs, but I was hiding him in the woods just to keep him from getting like shot. He's kind of squishy, so I like a more durable lord. If you want something that's like maybe a little bit more newer player friendly, I would probably go with like Skarsnik, or because you want to cut his was it Trixie Traps and then the Prada, and then he's 1600 gold, and if you have like if you get Icket like in a bad spot or something like that, you can fermented fungi him into trolls and just beat the piss out of him. So like that's really handy. It's like him, and then maybe like a river troll hag or an orc shaman would be good. And if you're going with the river troll hag, I would just bring Spirit Leech, and Doom and Darkness is good against Skaven because you can overcast it and get a AoE -16 leadership and cause like a chain route. So with like, especially with like the swamp things, so if you change one of those trolls for the swamp things, they have terror. So you put one of those in, you put this one, yeah, there you go. And if you can like get a lot of kind of wavering units and drop a Doom and Darkness around like the river, the swamp things, you can get a bunch of units to just start running away and chase them around and get them off the map. But for the Troll Hag, well, I don't know I can't see what you have on it, but you definitely want to get rid of the breath attack. That's
I did get rid of that.
Okay. So you want the Mither, and then the lore passive, and then just like Spirit Leech and Doom and Darkness. That's it. And then I would get rid of the Power Stone and whatever that other scroll is. Just the items. You just want those 3 things. Mither, 4 things rather. Mither, Doom and Darkness, Spirit Leech, and the lore passive for death.
Okay.
And are you going with that Lord instead of
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I want to see how it works.
He's basically
really that tall, but...
no, I mean he has the same kind of functionality. He's just squishier because he doesn't have as big of an HP pool because he doesn't have Gobla. So you just got to be careful with him.
Did you put him on his squig?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's a meme. I love it.
You're gonna want to get rid of the potion of foolhardiness. The rest of his kit's fine, but the potion sucks.
Yeah. I would get. You have Fate of Buna can be good too for the weapons teams. I would those first cavalry you have. I'd probably get rid of those for just more cheaper light cav. More. I'd get 2 more of the Spider Riders, and then I would get rid of both the regular Wolf Riders and get the Moon Howlers because they cause fear. So once again, it's good against Skaven.
Yeah.
And then get 2 more Spider Riders. Now you get the melee ones. I'll just get the melee ones just to get in.
All right.
Then for the other thing that I used to bring in Warhammer 2, but I haven't used them as much just because squig herds are so cheap, are the Squig Hoppers because they're anti-infantry AP. So like if they get on weapons teams, they really shred them like really fast. They'll go down super fast if you can
Alright.
get them, and they're also a lot faster than the Squig Herds. So if you can get them in on Jazales or anything, they can really, and they're immune to psych. So you get it has a lot of good stuff for them. And then I would definitely bring a few Night Goblin archers just in case they bring a big bad monster like a hell pit or something that's low armor to shoot it. So and they can't get bombed on the way in because they have stock. So I like them as opposed to the other archers just to get them in. So yeah, like something like this is pretty good. You probably you have to. I would.
If you downgrade the Spider Rider Archer into a Spider Rider, you can afford what you wanted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you can get your Squig back.
Yep. Bam. That's good. And yeah, something like this definitely can work. And then you don't want to get like the real important thing when you're facing the Skaven, because you don't have like flying units and stuff, is you can't get all your monsters, infantry and stuff hung up on shitty Skaven slaves and clan rats. They need to push into the middle and get to the weapons teams, or you're just going to lose because they're going to destroy you. So you almost want the Squig herds to like go first and eat like the first volley and rampage, and that way you're and then get your goblins and your trolls into the back into the back lines, especially your trolls, your spider riders, your Squig Hoppers. If you can get those onto the weapons team, you're gonna win the game. If you don't, like, you're gonna lose. It's basically your win condition. Yeah. And then if you can rampage their lord into like trolls, then definitely do that. Like, what's really powerful is the fermented fungi. You rampage. When the rampage wears off, you mither them, so they have to stay there with the fight, and you can win the game just by doing that. So I know it's a lot, but see how it goes.
Umbrella, what's your professional opinion about my build?
I haven't even looked at it yet. So. Oh my god! All right. Well,
is it a proper meme?
Yeah.
I don't like that reaction. What is that? What does that mean?
It's
Let's go.
It's something. It's something.
You're gonna be happy you didn't bring a rogue idol.
Yeah.
Did he bring 4 Rattling Gunners?
I fucking did. Goddamn right.
That
would be a very dead rogue idol. That would be.
I've been trying to make.
Well, I'm glad I didn't go with my original one, which was a fucking great shaman on a spider.
Yeah.
You could just not be in the fight at all ever.
That would have been really, really bad.
It would have been really, really bad.
I mean, you can get it in once you compromise like the rattling guns, but you gotta it's gotta be like a delayed entry.
The good thing.
At that point, I've already won, though, right? Like.
Not necessarily.
The good thing about the shaman though is that you can overcast a lot of Is it the gaze or is it the other one that he does?
The Vindictive Glare is not as good as it used to be. It used to be extremely powerful. Yeah, it's not.
I think the Big Wall one is the one where the overcast is 500 meters, right?
It's long, but it doesn't do that much damage. So it's not as it used to be. The Vindictive Glare used to be really, really strong, and then they nerfed that like into the dirt. I wish it was not what it used to be, but definitely a little bit more impactful. That would be nice for the green skins.
I feel like they nerfed all the spells except for buff spells, debuff spells, and then fucking healing, and then for some reason the Skaven final transmutation.
Well, for the green skins, I don't know why they nerfed the Foot of Gork. Like, I don't know why they did. It's not like it was like a widely used spell anyway. But
yeah, I think that was a campaign nerf, which I think is dumb. Like, why do you nerf stuff in campaign? Who cares? It's campaign. Just have fun.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. So, I wish, because the best feeling in the world is the Wurzag effigy that get alley oop to the Foot of Gork, just elite cavalry. That's just like. That was especially I used to use that against Bretonnia a lot. If you knew they were going to bring like some expensive cav, you would just net them with effigy they get overcast Foot of Gork, and you just get
Dude, this Night Goblin War Boss riding a Squig looks so weird because he's like the same size as the Squig.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's a guy on a squig. What do you?
Yeah, but it's
That's
just
just how
like,
they are.
what's the point of riding it? It's the same size as you.
It's faster
fast.
than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Look how
doubles
big his
your
mouth.
HP pool.
Look how big his mouth is.
His mouth.
Yeah, he's gonna like
They
eat
both-
someone whole. He's gonna do
We
that
have to
match
try to-
animation, you know?
We're gonna have to try to find out the difference between a squig and a goblin because they both have 2 feet.
Well, one's green, which makes it better, right?
Well, they're both aren't they both green?
Nah, squigs are
Squigs
pink.
are pink.
Squigs are pink.
Squigs
Yeah,
are
look
pink.
at
Yeah, they're different colors. Yeah. For the greenskins, you're playing. You're going to be the aggressor here. So like, what's really important is that your collapse is timed, where everything kind of comes in around the same time. If you send stuff in piecemeal, he's just going to shoot you to hell. So, like, be patient with getting all your units surrounding his army, and ideally you want to get like some cavalry and trolls like on the flanks and in the rear if you can. That way, when you're collapsing, he has to make a choice, like which way he's going to go. If you have everything right in front of him, and he doesn't have to work as hard to defend. So, like rushing is kind of it's a timing art. Everything's got to happen. You want everything to happen as simultaneously as possible to tax his micro to the point where he's gonna, some stuff's gonna slip through the cracks, and then, it's just like kind of the breaking of the dam is the metaphor.
Yeah,
Right.
don't stress too much
Okay.
about not making mistakes. It's more to put pressure on your opponent because they're going to make mistakes too. It's just like, who makes more. So it's like, I don't know. It's not
The
as
defender
important.
usually makes more mistakes because all you have to do is click an attack icon, and they're always going to chase that unit, and the defender always has to maneuver that thing constantly unless you have skirmish mode on.
Oh yeah, okay. That makes sense.
It's
That's
How do
for
spider
super.
riders not cause
That's
fear?
for super mobile stuff.
That
quick,
spider is the size of a man. How does it not cause fear?
nothing causes fear. Dang it!
All right.
So your trolls will cause trolls don't cause fear. Oh, I guess terror. Yeah, trolls cause
Okay.
fear and terror. Then you get your moonhowlers cause fear. And then your troll has doom and darkness and also causes fear. So like I said, if you can get kind of a group of stuff that's near each other wavering, and then you can get overcast that, and you can get a big chain route, and then chase everything off with your spider riders. That would be really clutch. But I would just try to get to that, get into the middle with as uniformly as possible. That would be my
Alright.
best advice, and I'll shut up after that.
I did. I made a video on this, but you're gonna want to space your front line according to their speeds. So your trolls are behind your goblins, which is good, but your squigs are ahead of them right now, and the squigs are gonna just sprint off to their deaths. So your squigs are gonna want to be between your trolls and your goblins. Yeah, right about there.
Okay.
Otherwise, they'll get
'Cause
too
I-
far ahead and get shot.
Because even though the squigs and the trolls are about the same speed, I want the squigs to get in first, so they should be ahead of the trolls, right?
Well, you don't want all your goblins to just eat volleys from the globes, because they're gonna take, because their formation's a lot tighter. They're going to take a lot more damage from that volley. So what you want to kind of do is get close to the edge of his range, and then get all your units in position where you want them to be, and then collapse. You just patience.
Okay.
You don't have to get there. Just because it's called rushing doesn't mean you have to like literally rush face rush into him. It's not the goal. The goal is to envelop and then have like a synchronized collapse, so that he's gonna miss something, right? He's
Right.
not gonna be able to defend everything. So that's it. And then you want to try to get your squigs and your trolls, push them through Skaven slaves and clan rats, because they don't have great masses infantry. So you should be able to push through. They only have 100 mass.
So I just target something that's behind them, and they'll just push through.
Yeah, just keep right clicking and push them through.
Yeah.
Or ideally, if you can maneuver them through gaps, so they don't even have to push through. But if they do get caught on like a clan rat or a Skaven slave, don't let them sit there. Just click through, and they'll get through.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to constantly click through, but like every 3 or 4 seconds of something getting attacked, it'll, after like 3 or 4 seconds of getting attacked, it's gonna stop and fight that thing. So like every 2 seconds, you want to be like, nope, keep going, keep
Oh,
going.
is that why people complain about like, was it Pegasus Knights or something like that?
Yeah, they have a hard
Never-
time getting anywhere, so it's just like, it is so hard to get them to do what you want them to do, because if one Pegasus gets trapped on the ground, the whole unit, every 2 or 3 seconds, keeps going, we have to go back for Jerry! It's like, fuck Jerry! Jerry's dead! Do what I told you to do!
Alright.
Anyway.
Well, I'm ready to.
Oh, you
I'm ready to
clicked the
see
button. Let's go.
how poorly I'm about to do.
Oh, you will be
I heard was the last thing out of 2
Oh
bits.
yeah. So, you made a box.
He
I
did
made a
make
box.
Okay. Why are all of your units in the back?
All my units in the back.
Well, why are like you have one spear in the middle at the front, and then everything else is just like surrounding.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a box. Now he has 0... He has 0 rat ogres, so there's literally nothing that
Right.
can stop your
That's-
trolls from...
That's a lie. I have a single rat ogre. Okay. I have
Okay, yes, you have Gorich, but I meant like, if he has no mass, so your trolls can walk wherever they want to as long as they're constantly right-click to what you want to attack.
Orange
Yeah,
is
you-
a big boy. Okay.
He's a big boy, he
Yeah,
can't
you-
stop
big
11
boy.
trolls.
You
No,
just-
and
you
he
just-
he gets the shit kicked out of him by trolls. If you get him surrounded by trolls, or
it's lagging a little bit. Maybe I should drop out.
Oh yeah, I was having a lot of delay on
oh yeah,
moving
on the
things
one-
around.
For me, I'll drop out and see if it helps, because
I ho-
I know
I-
hubby's got.
I hope it isn't me. Our power has gone out a couple times tonight. So
Okay. Oh, Umbrella
if I
left the
suddenly
game.
leave you,
What a
it's,
bully.
it's because of the power.
What's the key to swap the move speed? Like while they're already moving?
I don't know the hotkey for it, I always just click the double arrows at
can-
the bottom.
Oh,
You can
okay.
set a couple hotkeys. One good hotkey to set on your own is the brace, because that is very important for spear units.
Wait, that doesn't just happen on its own?
No, not brace. Excuse me. Halt,
Oh.
which will
Oh,
automatically they'll form up and brace. So it's if you see you don't have to
okay.
click down to the halt, which is backspace normally, but I'm pretty sure you can change it to just whatever key you want, like H or R, or whatever suits your playstyle.
Alright.
Spider Riders are disconcertingly, like, straddling the spider's neck and head area. They aren't riding up on the thorax. I don't like that.
Well,
You don't like that?
Like-
that
how
They-
big of a
they don't have a-
split do you want the rider to do?
they don't have any harnesses. Those goblins must have really thick thighs.
I just don't like how close they are to the face. I think that's the biggest thing.
You
Why
can't,
why do you
you
feel
can't
that
expect
way?
a goblin to do anything, or orc to do anything.
I don't like
It looks-
spiders
spiders in general, so I don't think I want to be near one's face.
We don't have good connectivity. It might be me. It might be me.
Oh no. Look at the little spiders doing their best.
Your graphics are way better than mine. Sheesh.
Yeah. Little goblins.
Little gobelinos.
Well, tunnels do lead to Skaven Blight. God, I love Skaven. They're just like the perfect fantasy race.
Because
They're
they're just little rat boys.
Yeah, their voice lines are hilarious. They're like steampunk. I don't know. There's nothing I don't like about the Skaven. They're so cool.
Mm.
Little Skavinos. Their models are pretty ugly in Warhammer 3. I'll give them that. But
Our doom wheels are amazing. They got little rats. They got little rats running the doom wheels. It's powered by rats.
Why are you having Gorich approach by himself?
Don't question it, okay?
Why are you doing that? That's a bad idea.
I'm alarmed.
Oh,
He's trying to block all the trolls at once.
I'm gonna cycle charge. I'm gonna cycle charge you with Gorge to death. Okay. This.
Oh, yeah, okay.
How much speed does he have? Oh, he has 70 speed. Jeez.
Yeah,
He's a big boy.
Gorge is very fast.
He's.
He has 70 speed.
Yeah.
He does. He's a 70 speed.
He's very fast.
I didn't realize he was this fast.
What a speedy boy. What are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing?
He can get up to 78 speed if he's running away because of
You're
the
leeching
skating
my.
fashion.
Yeah, I'm casting Spirit Leech on your Lord, so he dies faster.
That's smart.
Wow.
Because I want to kill him, because him being alive is bad for me.
That is bad for you. Nobody likes an alive Ikit.
I could have confederated Ikit if I wanted to when I was playing as Clamours. I didn't want to.
Playing Moors? That's terrible. You should play as Eshin. Eshin always.
Nah, dude, Queek's the best.
Queek is great.
Queek-
I liked being able to spawn rank 9 Storm Vermin anywhere on the
Yeah.
map. I think that was awesome.
That is unfortunate for you. I hope you get well soon.
I think all of the Skaven campaigns are actually really fun. I think the only one I haven't
I
played is
don't-
Tretch.
Pestilence is its plague mechanic is significantly worse than
I don't-
anything else.
I don't think you're gonna like what I'm about to do.
Oh, I know what you're gonna do.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I don't want to tell him before I get the opportunity.
Well, I know what you're doing. You have missile spells and stuff.
Oh, that's not it.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
try to rage Gorich? These goblins aren't gonna do enough damage to him.
Not enough.
Has to be 80% or below to rampage.
And I'm
80% health or below.
significantly faster than your trolls. And I have more.
But you're not faster than the Squig boss, and he has a net. Go get him!
He has a net? No, he doesn't have a net.
He has a net.
Oh, he has
Is
a
it
net.
Your sword.
I have
Wait, hold
Tormentor
on.
Sword.
Go! Go, Squiggy, go!
Wait, what? Oh. Tormentor Sword affects the area around you. You can't target... Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Did you cast Flensing Ruin on a unit of goblins?
Nah, it's a
No,
brass
I
orb.
cast Brass Orb.
Oh, okay.
It does do some good yeetusing, some good deletusing. So you're getting close to the
I-
Rattling Gunner's range. You're gonna want to be careful of not just running your Stone Troll super far ahead.
Yeah, alright.
And you're currently getting Flensing Ruined Gaming, so have fun dodging that. Spiders are advancing, squigs are advancing, flanks are doing fine, everything else is moving up. Yeah, it's going okay for you. Oh, the lag.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm sorry. Yes, hit the stone. Hit the not stone trons. The swamp dings.
I'm gonna be right back in 5 minutes, guys.
Alright, I'll be sure to end the stream before then.
That's fair.
That is fair. Gorge is very sneaky.
He's a fast boy. Not while it's lagging, but normally he's a fast boy. Okay.
I mean, he's still comparatively fast. If everything's slow, he's less slow.
He's less slow. You are correct.
Alright, we are 10 minutes into this 2-minute game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mither on the
Does Gorg
claw.
cause terror? He better cause terror. Does he cause terror? He
Gorge?
causes terror.
Yeah,
Good.
Gorge causes terror.
That's good.
Gorge lives on terror. Ontario. Rattlings are tickling the stone trolls.
I'm right, we are.
God, I wish they were more accurate.
Yeah, they kind of suck.
They don't have to be, like, laser accurate, but they do have to be remotely accurate. Another leech onto Dr. Claw.
Dr. Claw. How much does Spirit Leech damage do, approximately, to Sems?
Oh, I don't know the exact value. Let's see. About 50 damage per second for how many seconds? 13
I think
seconds.
it is.
Roughly 600 damage. It's Stone Trolls piling in onto Gorich. They'll do okay there as long as the rest of your stuff keeps moving forward. Like, those squigs have got to keep running at the Rattling Guns and just stop them from supporting Gorich in the fight for a bit. If your Night Goblin Warboss can rampage Gorich or even lower his melee defense, that could be good. Uh-oh. Squigs are rampaging. No! Stupid squigs. Anyway. Your Cav's got to keep moving up. Can't let it stall out. It's got to get in here and distract everything. Unfortunately, your front line is hitting a little bit ahead of your flanks. So that'll be...
Yeah, I forgot about my right flank.
I move forward. I move forward to prevent that. Umbrella's really good at avoiding that pitfall, and he falls back, and it's really annoying.
Yeah. It's a hard part of rushing, like he was saying at the start, is like you gotta time it so everything hits at the same time.
Right.
But, I mean, that shit comes with time and practice. Alright, Stone Trolls are terror routing, Goblins are piling in, River Troll Hag and this guy are still doing stuff, Archers are supporting. That's all going okay. Your Swamp Things are briefly forgotten, they'll need to move up.
Yeah.
All of the things. Do everything.
That's true, I should be.
There's a nice rampage. So Gorich is currently rampaging with lowered melee. He has 6 melee defense. So even your goblins are getting decent poke onto him. Alright, how's the Cav doing? Spiders got in onto Rattling Guns. Other spiders are chilling. Wolf Riders are running around the far side. So we just need more orders. Do more things!
No, you're right.
Yeah, no, it's super easy to just say, hey, do this, but it takes practice and shit to do it consistently all the time.
Well, you're getting a little bit fucked there. Don't target that.
So spiders have taken out one Rattling.
I think my globes took out the Rattling.
Either way, that Rattling got taken out.
Goddamn right.
I think it's good that this fight is going in slow motion because I can actually react to everything.
Yeah, there you go. There's the hacks. Force Goblin's gonna go attack more stuff. Trolls should be force pathing onto the Rattling Guns, the ones next to your Lord, because they're not going to catch up to Ikit at this rate, so just take out the Rattlings that are shooting at all your lads, all the boys. Moonhowlers do see a way into the box. Spider Riders also need to shut down the Rattlings. Gobos are still doing their best to advance. Archers are harassing Gorich. That's going okay. And spiders are unfortunately getting broken. Another Flensing Fun onto the Night Goblin Warboss.
Oh, there we go. Terror out. Is that terror out?
Yeah, it's terror into the Stone Trolls. So you do have some routed units that need just orders to come back to the fight. The Swamp Things need orders to go into the fight. The Night Goblin Warboss is currently getting Rattling Gun to death, and he's probably dead.
That's not good. Alright.
That is in fact the big not good.
You don't want kind of like red ogres. Stone trolls or trolls have like really low leadership. You don't want them solo unless they're fighting a Sem or a Lord. You always want goblins on.
Sem's a single
you
XP.
always, yeah. Or I mean a big Sem, like a big monster. But even then, you want some form of support on them because if you don't, they'll get essentially the flank leadership debuff if you don't have them on top of a nice infantry unit. Unless you're chasing something off. Or as long as they're not outnumbered.
Alright, my lord's dead.
He is.
Oh, that sucks.
He is dead. You're about to suffer the fate known as leadership bombing.
And just make sure that I don't chase off your trolls with your mobility at this point. Or, well, I mean, also try to take out my weapons teams, I suppose. You got 2 jobs to do with all your mobility, which is a bit of a struggle.
Yeah. Moon Howlers are back. The full health Forest Goblin Spider Rider is terror routing. That's hype.
That's unfortunate.
It is. Rattling guns tickling some river troll hags for a little bit.
It's okay. That's gonna stop in a second.
Oh. Oh. The still frame?
It's okay. That's gonna stop in 25 seconds.
In 45 minutes, those 25 seconds will pass.
Oh, God.
This 6-minute long game took 45 minutes,
It did.
and that's just unfortunate.
Did it actually take that long?
No.
Okay, good.
You'd be
I'm sorry. I'm
You-
sorry about my...
way drunker than you thought if this actually took 45 minutes.
Oh, God, yeah. Holy smokes.
And the new Spirit Leech animation is cool though, I'll give it that.
Absolutely.
Big floating claw of doom. I like how Gorich is mithered and Stone Trolls are just running up to kick his face in. That looks pretty funny. This Rattling Gun still try to shoot the River Troll, who's actually maybe going to tear her out from Gorich. Maybe.
Maybe. We need more terror in this area.
Terror doesn't stack.
I know. Just makes me feel better inside.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a tough one to get all of your units to collide at the same time, because this definitely was a situation of like the front line hit and the Skaven could try to deal with it, and then by the time the front line was dealt with, then the left flank hit and they could deal with that, and then when they dealt with both those, then the right flank came in. It was just one by one where they all needed to hit at the same time. That, or just take a Rogue Idol. Then you don't need tactics. Then you don't need micro. You just click forwards and the Rogue Idol will carry the game.
Didn't you have a video where the Rogue Idol actually didn't do too bad recently?
Not recently, but yeah, there are some times where he does okay. I don't know. He has some matchups in Game 3 that he's actually okay in, especially the Demon matchups, because they're so focused on melee that they can do alright. Kind of surprised it hasn't army lost the Greenskins by now. Like, literally everything's routing.
Yeah, I think it's the Troll Hag that's keeping it on him.
Yeah, also probably Gorich's low-ass HP pool.
That's true. Gorge is a bit fucked up right now.
Yeah. He got mega murdered.
He mega murdered? What do you mean? Did he actually do anything? Hold on.
No, he got
He
mega
didn't
murdered.
even do anything.
The River Troll had got as much value, and she's still 3/4 HP. He's almost dead. Stupid Gorge.
Yeah, Gorge is fun though. Okay,
Squig Hoppa's trying to get in there. Go, Squig Hoppa's go. Bees, I have a question for you.
Yep. Sorry, I was muted, and I don't know why.
Are you
What is
gonna
it?
get the Chaos Dwarf DLC?
No.
Rip.
Why?
I was just curious.
Alright.
Gorge has 70 melee attack, and it feels like it can't hit this River Troll Hag, dude.
Well, he needs to swing to use his melee attack.
Has he not been swinging?
He's mostly just standing staring at her ominously.
Oh god, that's terrible.
Oh, he's swinging.
Won't some of these deserters come back? God damn.
Yeah, he did miss. Gorge, you suck.
Oh,
He doesn't have 70 melee attack, my bad. He has 64 melee attack.
Yeah.
On the ass of a retreating enemy with 32 melee defense.
let's see.
Poor Gorge.
I finally have Wa, so let's see how that. let's see how that fixes it. This
late
will
game
win me the
block.
game for sure.
Hell yeah! Plants with spears just walking up to stone trolls like they own the
There
place.
we go. He hit. Let's go, Gorge.
Cleansing
Doubled your
runes have to
value
do
with
more than he
one
ever
hit.
does.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
If Human Boy doesn't move 1,000 copies of the DLC, CA is gonna take his hands. You know, maybe they will. They won't, but maybe they will. I'm excited for the Chorf
It is
DLC.
running so badly. yeah, no. I think now that I got my Wa off, I'm gonna win.
You got it.
Yeah.
Gorge missed again, for anybody who's tracking.
Yeah.
Fucking
Even-
Gorge.
Even Gorge lost 500 HP from getting shot in the back, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Everybody
So did I
hates
lose
Gorge.
to 4 rattling guns because I suck?
You did have...
No, you lost to 4 rattling guns because I fucked up your initial advance. So when that
right.
happens, you want to pull back your front line because I was trying to bait you into the rattling guns range. You want to make sure you
Oh,
pull
I
back
made
your
it for
front
the
line.
stream was over.
What up? We're still in the game.
Because I was trying to bait you into the...
Alright, there it goes.
Also, rattling guns are surprisingly not that bad against troll units, as long as you don't.
They're not that bad against trolls. They're not that good either. The main problem was what we had talked about during the middle of the battle was like frontline hit, and then the fight happened, and then the left flank came in, and then the right flank. So it was just one by one.
Well, it's the Yeah, I move forward to disrupt his surround, which is
I'm gonna be honest. I brought way more cavalry than I'm able to control.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. It is when it's for newer players. I think maybe going to like a 15 stack is maybe more manageable, and taking away some light cav just to like take pressure off your micro. But also when it's lagging that bad, it favors the defender too, because they can
Oh, yeah, that
react
makes
a lot easier to what you're doing.
I will gracefully bow out for my shitty fucking Midwest internet.
That is fair.
I gotta step out for a bit to feed my dog. If you're willing to have me on for another game, I wouldn't mind.
All
But I
right.
gotta step out for a second.
How are you playing games if nobody's fucking streaming right now?
I'm playing games.
Oh,
But
is
he's
this on
playing
YouTube?
mind games.
Yeah, you're on YouTube right now.
Am I fucking cursing on YouTube?
Yeah, but don't I always do that?
No, it's
No,
getting
you
censored, so it's
you
not
just
getting
demonetized Human Boy.
Oh, I got demonetized.
Ah.
That's a very good strat. Thanks.
Were you too much of a rat?
Hey, I'm gonna have to remonetize you right now.
Oh no. Oh
Now
no.
look, I know you told us not to be controversial, all right? But I gotta say it. I think that Tretch Craventail has a flat ass. He is flat as a board. No one wants to go near him.
Do not talk about my hubby like that, okay?
He dummy thick.
You're banned. He dummy thick, bro. He
Let me tell you
dummy
something.
thick.
Let me tell you
Two
something.
C's, bro. No, we going back to the OG. 2 Q's. You know what I mean, bro?
That is an old one, man. That sent me back. That sent me back 100 years. I
65
go feed
million
my
years.
dog.
Before Tretch even existed 100 years ago.
They had rats back then.
Yeah, they didn't talk.
Alright, Guillermo apparently wants to play Empire. I'm wondering if he's gonna hop in the chat or not, or how this is gonna work.
All right, cool. Let me know if you want me to
Okay. Okay.
rehost or
I'm trying to figure stuff out. I'm so sorry.
you're the Empire guy, so
Yeah.
Nobody wants your grandfather's love. That's all.
To rebellionizing. Thanks, Strat.
What do you mean? I love you, grandfather.
I wasn't quite talking about that.
Oh, okay.
Hubby, you've been rebillionized.
I got the biggest of the rebellions. Okay, so I'm gonna host as a spectator.
I have a question. Is Foot Warzag even like viable anymore?
He's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I want dancing warlord.
Yeah, he's decent. I still prefer him on the squig.
It makes them a little bit harder to snipe, but you do lose like the mobility, which especially if you're bringing like cav builds, then it's really nice when he can kind of orchestrate from the back of his bore.
You may lose the mobility, but you gain the drip. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Investing in the
Doing
new
that-
cryptocurrency.
You be doing that crip walk, bro. That's more valuable than winning a game. You know?
The Warzag dance is a beautiful thing. But like I think like with Warzag, if you're bringing like cavalry builds where he can be like super impactful, is if you can get a good cavalry engagement and then pop here we go and on your like boar boys or something like that and win like flank engagements, it's can be really strong because you'll get that plus the bonewood staff, so all those whatever's been in that AoE will get 52 melee attack, and they'll beat down large targets pretty well.
From my experience, this is an old experience. Boar boys never won engagements, but they traded upwards like enough for like the poison spider riders to come and fuck everything up in cav battles at least.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, I don't like them in like every matchup, but I do think they're particularly strong against Kislev, Bretonnia, and the Empire that don't have great AP heavy cav, like the low AP heavy cav, and the boar boys, are AP and they have a lot of armor, so and they're anti-large, so especially with like getting buffs.
Stuff like 16 melee defense.
Yeah, well, getting those buffs, like I think they can really get into like those cavalry, and those are the three matchups I really like him in.
I have a quick question. What is not good against Kislev?
These like I think some of the demon factions aren't great against them. I'm not. You have to ask Penguin, and he knows more than I do, but.
From what I've seen, I don't think I've ever seen Kislev win a game.
Sorry, I was talking to Guillaume and Sabris about getting their game together and shit. What are we talking about?
We're talking about how bad Kislev is. Is Kislev really?
Nah,
bad?
Kislev's okay. They're not good. They're
not that
okay.
I've
just
never seen
mediocre.
them win a game on your channel or anyone else's channel.
Dr. Pengu won on them with yesterday's stream. You
shit.
liar.
I haven't seen it, okay, bro? I've been grinding Tarkov, okay?
That's not an excuse. You must consume all the content.
That is an excuse. I will. It's just in the backlogs, okay?
No,
Is
Kislev's
Tarkov a province in Kislev?
Yeah.
Let's
could
go,
be.
Sabris! Or, not Sabris.
Do I have ultrasound?
Yeah, Sabris. Yes.
What do we?
No, okay, the default.
Wait.
one.
Do I need to go to the YouTube stream? Yeah.
Maybe.
My beautiful silent boy, you can do this.
Guillaume's not in this voice chat, he's just chilling in the YouTube chat. So I might have to cast this game as a normal pleb. And if I do that, I'll mute here so that you guys don't all just hear me constantly screaming about like, and Boris Tidebringer isn't gonna hit him, and everyone else is just trying to have a good time, and I'm shrieking into the winds.
Oh, that sounds like a good time to me.
We enjoy your high energy content, okay, human boy?
Dude, I lost my mind casting Bjorn's Lizards versus my Cathay. That was great.
Yeah,
We don't-
there's some times where I'm like, oh my god, I gotta turn the volume down. That came out of nowhere.
we don't get a lot of high energy content creators that just scream randomly into into the mic on Total War Warhammer. It's quite refreshing.
It's a pretty small niche, actually.
Yeah. There's a lot of there's
But
a lot
it
of
is
people
a niche.
who want to just be professional and that's it. And I'm like, nah.
Can I say though? I think the Tomb Kings, like this matchup, I felt worse in Warhammer 2. Like I feel like the Tomb Kings have some tools here to counter the Empire.
Worse? I remember this being terrible just because of Burning Head. It was just Burning Head casters all the time. It was
Yeah, the healing the Tomb Kings can get from the passive and then just their army ability, like it does mitigate that. You know, I mean, it's still impactful. Don't get me wrong, but I just I've Tomb Kings are another faction I play a decent amount. I've played against Empire a few times, and it doesn't feel as bad as it used to. High Elf still
Carla.
feels terrible.
Umbrella, I have an amazing meme build that you should try out. Okay, so it's Archon the Black. It's 2 Tomb Princes on horses. They're all on horses. They're on the skeleton horses. Okay, it's just, and then the rest of it's just a bunch of chariots and cavalry. All right, it's super funny. I don't know if it works anymore because chariots kind of suck now, but it used to actually kind of work, and it was really funny.
It doesn't work.
It was just chariot spam and then some horses.
Well, chariots are just so bad in Warhammer 3 now. I hope they fix them though. That would be great.
Yeah.
I've always liked Tomb King chariots against infantry because they just have so much shock damage that there's a decent potential that you can actually just route the unit off like outright. But I think the biggest issue comes with you can't rear charge through your own infantry anymore. So it just kind of like really diminishes how chariots are used because you usually use chariots on engagements where both infantry sides are engaging, and when your chariots have just as much of a hard time pushing through your infantry as the enemy opponent's infantry, it just bogs them down so much more, and it sucks. Because you used to just like rear charge through your own, or front charge through your own infantry on cab and chariots and well, you can still do it with heroes and stuff on the big monsters infantry, but I feel like it's significantly worse now with all the cav and high model entities.
Yeah, I think chariots doing more damage would make a lot of the current strong factions feel a little more down to earth. Like, I don't know, high elves just spamming 5 spearmen, 5 Lothern Sea Guard, 4 archers on top of that. It's like, okay, well, chariots are gonna roll through this. So.
High elves
The thing about
chariots. What do you mean?
They still have chariots, but their current build is just like, let's spam as much high stat, low cost infantry as we can and just outgrind the enemy, which is bullshit. Like, that's not how high elves should play. That's like how, I mean, not the same, but like just outgrinding your enemy is like counts or like a greenskins type thing.
They're kind of like dwarves with dragons at this point. I mean, I know that all the high elf players will hate that, but like that's like what they feel like. It's just like you have this like really hard to break high melee defense infantry line with and then it's very similar to like dwarves, except they just have cavalry and dragons.
Yeah, it's not the only way to play high elves, but it is a very popular way to play high elves right now, and it's just depressing. So I think like chariots would keep that stuff honest, because then you would need more mobility or single entity presence to keep them from just rolling through archers continuously. But with chariots being in a bad state, infantry spam thrives, and it's not like the only way to play the game, but it is, you know.
Oh, it makes it. I mean, it's easy. It's easier to play, especially if you're gonna bring like a dragon and you don't have to really micro your infantry that much because they're not gonna go anywhere. Like then you can really focus your cav micro and your single entity micro on instead of worrying about your infantry.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you guys
Sabers is going for the back door right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Heavy back door.
Skeleton
feel
horse
like,
diving in on that
Sneaky plays.
Sunmaker.
He has secured the back door.
Do you guys feel like high elves have been consistently either the most broken or abused?
Yeah,
faction?
yeah, definitely.
It's either
Not
they
even
like
question.
are really bad, or they just like are the most abusive faction.
Oh,
I've
okay.
ever
You're
seen.
talking about like all time. I thought you meant Warhammer 3. I was like, nah, dude, they're not even better than Dark Elves right now.
Well, yeah, Dark Elves have taken.
Yeah, no. To your point, yes, High Elves have historically been like either trash or OP, and for some reason just can't find a middle ground.
Yeah, it's
I don't think they're the most egregiously broken thing in the game right now. Not even close. But if you're just talking in general,
there was a time when Skaven were universally
dude,
broken.
Skaven might still be broken.
Skaven
Well,
are pretty
look
goddamn
at
good
other
right now.
globes. I'm talking when mortars were. Oh my god.
Yeah.
They are more broken now than they have ever been. They are more
The
broken
mortars. The mortars aren't, but the globes are. Yeah.
now. The
Just
globes
overall,
are way more
used to-
powerful than the mortars
Used
were.
to bring 3 mortars and just eliminate any infantry that would come towards you. Oh my god. Now you just
You
bring
can
4
do
globes.
that. You
and-
can do that with globes. It's just cheaper.
Yeah. It's shorter range. you're
it's
right,
cheaper to
but-
do it. The Rat Ogre's 100 gold nerf, or not nerf buff, that was like, oh man, that was, they were good at 800 gold, now they're like
To be
obscenely
fair,
good at 700.
On a cost value perspective, I believe that Rat Ogres absolutely deserve that buff, because in melee they, compared to, if you discount the fact that they're the only cheap mass from the Skaven roster in melee, they kind of suck.
I think they're super cost effective, but like they're
They used to be. I would say they used to be. You used to be able to put clan rats or Skaven Slave with Spears on top of Rat Ogres and beat any cavalry in the game. And now I feel like I don't know what has changed, but something has absolutely definitely changed with it.
I don't know, I think they're even better at it now because you can do the same thing, but you pay less.
Oh no, you pay more for them, slaves, but.
Oh, but the Rat Ogres are 100 gold cheaper, yeah, so overall,
But when you look at their cost differences, do they ever actually make their value back?
it depends on the matchup, but they're not really meant to get their value back. They're just meant to
Yeah.
stop people
To
from
be the mass.
shit
Yeah,
facing
that's
you.
the only reason. Yeah.
Also, in this game, by the way, War Wagons are doing their best to carry this, but it's looking tough. Nekar Warriors and Ushabti are blitzing through the Empire front line, and that the Sunmaker dying in the first 10 seconds of the game was fucking brutal.
The Sunmaker died in the first 10 seconds?
Yep.
Yeah, Skeleton Horseman,
That was,
Vanguard on it.
that was a
I
pretty
just
big
got
play in
that.
the beginning.
That's rough.
Bounce power's actually gotten better for the Empire since then, though. Like, since they lost the Sunmaker, it's gotten a little better for them, which I'm honestly surprised. War Wagons are trying to
think
shoot
it's
Ushabti,
the-
but they're like getting line of sighted by Cav.
I think it's because the Cav have engaged in a lot of that and have been tearing apart the Ushabti.
The Huntsman General is an interesting pick. What did he bring? Arrow of Akshi and Hail of Fire. Huh. That's kind of neat.
Hey,
Fire tech.
are we on TV? Are we on TV right now?
Everybody's on TV right now.
TV
Yeah, we're on the YouTube. Is that considered TV?
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, we're just kind of chilling, either giving advice on matchups or just talking about the game in general. It's a very grab a beer and chill kind of stream.
Yeah, it's mostly shit posting. So
it's the only posting I know how to do.
damn right.
You guys think War Wagons are going to be able to carry this, or it's all ogre? 'Cause
I'm
it was
thinking
looking
about
all
those
ogre.
Those two
How well
Ushabti-
do War Wagons cyclocharge infantry?
All right, poorly, but he does have a burning headcaster.
I think
Honestly,
yes.
I
War
think
Wagons
War
can carry
Wagons are
this.
pretty bad versus Tomb Kings.
War Wagons can carry this. Look at the amount of ammo they got, and look at they'll easily get through the 2 half health Ushabti, and then they can just cycle charge the rest. If
I
mean,
I agree that War Wagons are bad against Ushabti traditionally because of Great Bows and all. In Spirit Leech, they have a ton of range pressure to push the War Wagons off, but this specific build doesn't have any. It entirely relies on melee, which War Wagons, if they can just
I
keep
mean,
running away.
yeah, if the War Wagons can kite, I mean, they might have enough.
So war
I'm
wagons
not
have a lot of
aiming at
armor,
the tank.
right? Are they? If you have light cavalry, can those counter war wagons? Because those are usually the answer to skirmish cav, right?
Unfortunately, no. if the war wagons aren't microed properly, if they just sit still, then they'll get absolutely trashed, which is great for you. But they're currently kind of bugged. If they keep moving, cavalry will follow them instead of ever attacking them, and it's a terrible time to be alive.
That's true with almost everything in the game right now, and it's really stupid, especially routing.
Yeah.
Your lord is quite literally safer routing than running away.
Dude, yeah, routing units are the saddest thing. I had a Packmaster on a Brood Horror chasing a Dark Elf Sorceress for literally 55 years, and I eventually just left her, and she rallied, but I needed hit back.
Oh my god! Now that this Nehekara Horseman's gone, like these war wagons, all they have to do is like just keep. Oh, I mean, it's not gone, but like.
I mean,
God, can they shoot
wagons...
through this much chaff? I guess, but he's got a burning headcaster, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wins
I don't
easily.
know.
If he just conserves ammo on the Ushabtis, Horsemen, and then Kepler Guard,
Oh, it keeps
the.
He's using
the
Flaming Sword of
burning
Ruin, though. He's wasting winds.
I don't
He's
think
wasting winds.
There's too much infantry to deal with, and the lord is quite healthy, and his lord is going away.
I mean that lord can get sniped pretty hard by those war wagons.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I think he needs to.
But I think he has enough mass to kind of block him out for.
He needs to reprioritize to get up there.
If the war wagons kill the
This war
lord,
wagons
they're
did a
not
lot on the
killing
charge. Holy shit.
Ushabti.
Sorry, was that Bird?
If the war wagons kill the lord, they're not killing the Ushabti. So the Ushabti just win it.
They can kill both. If they stop shooting
now.
Nehekar
They
warriors.
can. Not if Sabres.
Right now,
Fire
protects
at
them.
will. Fire at will on those war wagons needs to be turned off. Period.
I like
Yeah.
fire at will in the early game, but then after the
Yeah.
late game, I turn it off and be more precise.
It needs to be on Ushabti almost exclusively, and then he can just cycle charge infantry for the rest of the game. And he might be able to win if he's got a burning head left, but maybe not if he doesn't.
Yeah. So I think some things, because Guillaume, he had a build he wanted to try, and then he wanted some feedback after. So let's go into the feedback period for everybody who's actually been watching the thing. Obviously, the Sunmaker getting deleted in the first second, he doesn't need advice on that. He knows that shouldn't happen. War Wagons fire at will off. They need to be shooting at high priority targets like Kateb or the Ushabti right now. They've been splitting a lot of their time with Nehekar warriors, and Flaming Sword of Ruin was a neat trick. I think in the late game it's getting cast a little too freely when like Burning Head is pretty clearly what he needs to get rid of all of this infantry that's left, so I think the Winds of Magic and the targeting needed some work. What about the build? Anybody who saw the game? What do you think about the Empire build overall? Another Flaming Sword of Ruin! Stop it! Stop it!
I'm with you that
think,
war wagons are not the way. War wagons are not the way against
Yeah,
Titans.
war wagons ended up being a good pick because Sabris only rushes his Tomb Kings, but if he brings Ushabti, great. Bows you're bound.
Yeah.
Yeah, like against Tomb Kings, like Scourge Runners and War Wagons, and are like those are maybe like the only matchup because the threat of the Great Bows, because those are one unit that just absolutely annihilates those two. It's hard to bring because they're so safe against most factions, but like that's like one factions where they're a little bit risky.
I love these War Wagons shooting, and every time they fire, the balance of power dips. Like, you can just watch it go down.
I think that Huntsmen are really the way here, because they're going to be bringing large, and it might be armored, but still Huntsmen are pretty effective against that.
Huntsmen are, in fact, strong.
I mean, if you bring missile infantry, why are handgunners a worse pick?
Black Knight makes a good point too. The grenade launchers are pretty good in this matchup.
Yeah.
For clearing chaff, I would definitely bring one.
Though the fact that you
Although
say
he
anything...
had the Sunmaker though, and it just actually didn't get to do anything. So that kind of does the same task.
I also think I'm very partial with how I play, but I think Empire Knights are
Empire Knights are good.
like Knights of the Blazing Sun are very good, but Empire Knights are more than enough to take out any mobility other than Necro Knights on the Tomb King roster.
I'm
And,
gonna not talk about how
Impish.
the Nekar horsemen are healing as much as they're crumbling.
Wait, what? Where?
Can we talk about the worst burning head I've ever seen? Could we talk about that? Or is that off limits?
It's off limits, goddammit.
Okay.
You shut your mouth. Flame Sword of Rune's back. I forgot that the Tomb King's roster does, like, all of their constructs have weakness to fire. No, they don't anymore. Okay, so that was just...
No?
It was, the Lore of Fire passive when he casts something, everything gets weakness to fire. Yeah, because even the Tomb King's Lords don't have weakness to fire anymore, do they?
No, Lich Priests don't have weakness to fire.
It's just Kotep.
Yeah, Kotep.
That's Kotep?
And the Lich Priests aren't technically undead or something, so they don't have
Yeah.
weakness to fire.
Yeah,
Kotep.
It's just constructs and Kotep.
Kotep isn't weak to fire, but
well, neither are the
other
infantry
ones are.
except for the Kepler Guard because they have regen, but like Nakar warriors don't have weakness to fire.
I thought Keplerguard had only regen. I thought they had a hunger.
Nah.
Did anybody
Nah,
see
okay.
that charge against the Kepler Guard right there? It was literally the worst charge I've ever seen. It just it just humped the first line of units and then died.
Dude, that-
Still.
That happens to me with Kislev war wagons, not war wagons, Kislev war sleds. I don't know why, but they'll like hit the first unit and just stop entirely. But
Yeah,
I forget,
I don't know.
maybe it was even Umbrella, but someone was telling me that you actually want to charge the unit behind what you're trying to charge, and then you'll get a really good hit off.
Oh, the thing you did with Scarbrand?
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah,
Actually,
that was
Hanadins did it. I just recorded it, but that was Hanadins
Oh, yeah,
versus me.
Of course.
And my Dread Saurian kicked his ass because you can't charge through that.
You brought a Dread Saurian?
Into Scarbrand. He got his ass kicked.
I'm gonna start calling you Falcon, my lord.
The Dread Saurian is like legitimately good now because of how good healing is. The Red Crystal, like it's
Oh.
it's not a meme at all. if you have like
It was meta for a while. I remember.
Hey, legit, how do you beat this Tomb King's build as Imp? I'm serious. Like when you're getting constructs stacked on top of infantry, like that's gonna bulldoze anything that any semblance of a front line. How do you even stop that as Empire?
Through the skirmish phase, you want to. I would say
You can't beat that. You can't beat 9 units in skirmish. I mean, they're going to be on you quick.
Oh no! You don't have to beat all of them. You just have to beat enough of them where one semblance of your front line survives, even if the other one fails, so you can consolidate on the left or right flank.
I'm skeptical that it can be done
With some ranged units. I don't think he brought enough ranged units. He brought a bunch of kite, and he also.
I think instead of the Sunmaker, you could just bring 2 grenade launchers to clear chaff, and then you don't have to clear. You don't have to protect. Like to your point, you don't have to be static. You can move backwards, and because once those Nehekara warriors, like if they take a volley from the grenade launchers, they're gonna be fucking toast. I mean that's
So
pretty nasty.
That's a lot more micro.
For Guillaume, changes to this build. Triple Knights of the Blazing Sun, a little too much investment. Because I honestly don't think the Tomb Kings have weakness to fire anymore. I think that was a game 2
Just their
thing.
lords. It's just their lords.
Yeah, so all this fire damage, it's a neat concept, but it only works versus their lords, and their lords aren't going to like int into death. So cut the Knights of Blazing Sun, get 4 Empire Knights instead. They'll do the same thing, and there's more of them. We're not loving the war wagons in general, because like here they worked out, but this is a very Sabrus specific build. Ushabti Great Bows generally will do very well versus war wagons. You can maybe take like 1, but I don't know. 3 feels like a lot. It's not the worst thing in the world. It seems fine. The infantry corps is fine. I'm not sold on the Sunmaker, even though this time was like, okay, he got vanguarded, he won't let it happen again. In general, I'm still just not really that sold on it, because it burns through ammo like a motherfucker. And the Tomb King's infantry is super, like, they're easy to kill. The infantry is never your problem. It's like Ushabti, Ark in the Black, or Kepler Guard specifically, I guess, maybe. I'm a Hellstorm hater, so any other thoughts? I mean, Huntsmen. Someone was saying Huntsmen are good. Generally, I would agree.
What about the White Lions? Are they any good?
The Black Lions? I mean,
Or the-
I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I don't know what's their range. If you can keep them at a range, I think they outrange like.
I think, I think they have normal Hellblast or volley gun range, which is around like 900.
I still feel like they just lose to Shopti and Spirit Liege.
So if your problem is like monstrous infantry, would cannons be a good answer?
They used to be, but now I feel like they miss more often. I think like 2 or 3 huntsmen, 1 or 2 of the grenade launcher outriders, a 4th Empire Knight, and then some more infantry, and I think that build's going to be fine, to be honest.
Well, they have 250.
Yeah, the grenade launchers are for that late game situation where like his war wagons just couldn't kill a million Nakar warriors. If you have grenade launchers there, they'll be just fine.
Yeah, if he had a bunch, I think if he had a bunch of grenade launchers instead of war wagons, it would have been a very different fight at the very end. Because at the end, you're still kiting. You just have something that's.
But it still becomes a micro thing if he has great bows, because the great bows will destroy the grenade launchers too. So it's just really getting the right engagements with if they're going like great bow spam or something. It's a little hit or miss. I wonder. I don't play a ton of Empire, but like, I wonder how would Demigryph Knights be good? To get into like those constructs and stuff for the AP.
Great bows.
Sabrus, what was your?
Oh yeah. I mean, you got to keep them away from the great bows. You can't let them get like shot by great bows. But I mean, that's the same with your skirmish cav or your war wagons or anything. Is like if you let the great bows just fire on them, they're gonna tear them to pieces.
All right, I'm leaving this lobby. I'm gonna make a new one. I'm gonna call it Nurgle Rat. And let's get Umbrella and Bees in here. Umbrella.
Back in?
Yeah, Umbrella, you and I need to have a chat about the worst faction in this entire game.
That's crazy talk.
Fucking
If we keep on saying Skaven, CA will buff Skaven, so it's Skaven.
Hey, get a spectator slot, you silly.
Oh, me? That's right.
Yeah, you. Yeah, you. I get to play once. I get to play a game.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Okay.
more than fair.
What the heck map am I going for here? Let's do... Bloodpine once was good. It's small.
Oh no.
Out here, the war wagon stuff. Alright. Oh, boy. You can play anything you feel like playing.
A quick question. How is Bretonia?
Mr. Human Boy, are you going to make me cry?
Probably. I'm gonna try.
Oh, okay.
So, Umbrella, you said greenskins are good into most of the demon factions. And you insist Nurgle's good. So this is your show now. Both these factions are your thing. What the hell? All right, Nurgle sucks. Nurgle is terrible. They're the worst faction in this game.
Like, so for the greenskins, you got to respect that they can bring like the Kugath blob, which means as the greenskins you have to bring a lot of ranged assets, because if you don't, then you'll lose to that. So, which is like, I think you can use that against a lot of factions, because they have to at least have some countermeasure against that, because if they don't and you bring it, you like basically auto win, because that's what that kind of build wants. So I think that you can catch a lot of people off guard by bringing armies that don't have that kind of composition. So like I'm gonna exit real quick so I can like grab my.
Are not unit limits on this lobby.
So
Maybe bring 19 goblins and a real beefed up lord real quick.
Let me just grab my build that I like against greenskins here. So and I'm gonna.
Wait, are you versus greenskins or for greenskins?
Versus greenskins.
Oh, okay, you sent me a screenshot.
Yeah. So
Alright.
where's the...
I'll build it while you talk to him about the green beans.
So like that's what I like, and I mean I can tell you kind of like how I like to play it, but that's the that's for me like the way to go. Now for the greenskins, I think Wurzeg's good in this matchup. They're generally not going to bring. They're not going to bring a Deathcaster. You do have to watch out if they bring Rancid Visitations. Like, Rancid Visitations overcasted is more efficient than Spirit Leech. It will. It's very powerful against factions that cannot heal their Lord or their cat or their hero. It will kill them. Like in basically 2 casts, they're gone. So, like against greenskins, against beastmen, against Norska, you can just bring Rancid Visitations and you just eliminate their Lord or their caster. If it's like a Horse Lord or a Foot Lord, they're dead. They're not on the map anymore. So like that's something that I'll do like against Tomb Kings, because if they don't bring Cetra on a Sphinx, you win because their Lord's dead and they can't do anything about it. So they have to bring Cetra on a Sphinx to actually have enough HP to go get through the Rancid Visitations. So like Wurzeg's a little bit risky in that sense, but he's also really good because you need the Fist of Gork and the Brain Burster and some of those other stuff to like clear chaff. Then yeah, like you definitely want to bring a bunch of Arrow Boys and Skirmish Cav to just kite Nurgle around, and then it's a lot of micro for the greenskins because you gotta use all your DACA, and then definitely you want some Spider Riders to counter like any of their hounds and throwing axes that they're gonna bring. If they bring that, and Grimgor's okay, but like you're not gonna beat Kugeth with in melee.
Really?
So you gotta shoot him. So you're ultimately what you're trying to do, like if they bring one of the big boys, is to clear the rest of their army, and because they're slow, and then shoot Kugeth to death with Arrow Boys and Skirmish Cavalry and stuff like that.
Umbrella, what did you take on the Lord for spells? Stream and Rancid?
Stream and the what is it? Goddamn Fleshy Abundance. There you go.
Really?
Well, so okay, so
What did you do? You have Arcane Conduit and not the Mortis Engine?
No, I got the Mortis Engine and I think I have Arcane Conduit. I might have cut it. I have to go look.
He's too expensive. If he's just
Hey,
Fleshy
Umbrella?
Abundance, then that works.
I made it brought just Fleshy Abundance, but Stream of Corruption is really good as well. I think when you bring the big single entities, like when you bring a Soul Grinder, when you bring one of the Fat Boys, it's worth it to have Fleshy Abundance. But if you're not going to do that and you go super wide with Nurgle, a lot of times I rather just bring the first 2 spells and spam cast it with the lore passive just to get constant healing. Yeah, so
I took your build. I made some modifications just because, you know, we're not going to play in a super serious environment right now. But I did keep some of the aspects that I had doubts about, like the Pox Riders. I just do not see Pox Riders do well ever. I hate them so much, but I'll take them and see how they do here. I'll see.
So like, okay, so the big thing like in the greenskins is they have physical resistance. The greenskins don't have like any magic damage. They cause fear, which is always good against the greenskins.
That's true.
And they have anti-infantry, and they have a lot of mass, so they can push into like the archer lines, and they'll cause fear against trolls and stuff like that. They're pretty tanky. They're really good at disrupting formations, and then like the ROR is obviously just an absolute world beater. And like but for the greenskins, that monster is good. That lord is gonna be an extreme liability against the Nurgle. I don't know.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Why is that?
because he doesn't have immune to psych, and he's gonna if they, like I said, if they brought rancid visitations, he would literally die. Like he would die so fast.
What
I
lord
mean,
is
he'll
it?
be,
My build's set. I'm not changing anything.
I think like Grom can be good just because he has regen, so you can't really snipe him, or like Wurzag or Azhag is decent, but I would probably bring Wurzag or Grom in this matchup.
Alright.
Grombus Prombus might have the good regens.
And I think you need skirmish cav, like a lot of skirmish cav. Like right now, like you don't have enough missiles against if he brings the fat boys, like your archers get compromised.
Yeah,
the game is over.
Almost all factions versus Nurgle want to bring a million.
At least six archers, like against Nurgle all the time. But that's why like the exalted heroes with the Chaos Sorcerer can be like really strong, because if they're bringing those to counter, like to bring all those archers, and you bring just those guys with Stream of Corruption, they're really hard to shoot. Like they're very, very hard to shoot. So the targets that they're looking for are not on the field anymore. So it's But yeah, I mean, something like this is pretty good. I don't know what spells you have on your guy here. Yeah, those are good, definitely. And I don't think you need the item. It's not great. The skull wand. It's just, you could probably cut that.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, makes sense.
And yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, this something like this is decent. The big thing is just to keep your archers on the move and unbothered, because if they get compromised, especially like I said, if he has got Kugath or one of the great unclean ones, you won't beat them in melee.
Mm-hmm.
The greenskins don't have there's a few factions that have the tools to do it, but most factions they can't win that fight.
Okay.
Yeah, if Nurgle has like no ranged, which I mean he doesn't, I kind of would hope that he would win melee fights. Otherwise, it's like, well, then what's the point? What are we doing here?
Well, the soul grinders are incredible. The Nurgle soul grinders are really, especially against cavalry and infantry, they're really, really good. So like those, I think, are one of their better units. Their lords and heroes are what carry them, for the most part. Like they're kind of a little bit like vampire count in a sense, where like they're very reliant on those units to carry a heavy load. But they do have some strong units. But they do need a little bit like more buffs to make them like super viable.
Share the load.
I have returned, and I'm glad I haven't missed anything.
You missed us talking about Nurgle and green beans.
I did not miss him talking about a heavy load, which made me chuckle inside.
Yeah, so like I think for Nurgle, like their strong points, they have the best Forsaken out of any of the Chaos factions for sure.
Really?
Yeah, because they're giving up melee attack for melee defense and health, and they get poison, which is like the Forsaken can afford to give up, and speed. So if they can afford to give up melee attack and speed to get that extra melee defense and extra health pool and the poison, it makes them act, and you can heal them. So that they're definitely the best Forsaken, and they also have the best Chaos spawn, because once again it's an unbreakable unit you can heal with and then they get more health being a Nurgle unit, so their models won't die very fast. So like against Skaven, like how Skaven have a problem with Chaos spawn, but their Chaos spawn that you can actually heal. So like they'll take the punishment on the way in, and you drop like an Overcast Fleshy Abundance, and all of a sudden you got 2-3 units of spawn that took their fire on the way in, and then they're all the way back to full health.
I still think Tzeentch spawn might be slightly better. Armor Sundering, regenning shields.
Also,
yeah, they're good too. Those two are definitely because the other two kind of suck. Ona, definitely Corn and Slanesh definitely have worse spawn than Nurgle and Zinch for sure.
So for
I think those
poison helps
okay.
mitigate the poison helps mitigate the melee, or the melee attack nerf.
For stream's sake, I did get 2 Plague Bearers and some Toads and Uncle Frunkle for y'all's enjoyment, but otherwise we'll see how
Umbrella?
this goes.
What does your build do about Debiggen?
Well, this is not my build. I bring 3 throwing axes usually.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but archers on Greenskin side and cavalry should be able to deal with the throwing axes.
Nah. My build is like a 20 stack. Yeah, it's So
I know. I was looking at it.
Oh, the one in the screenshot.
Yeah, I built your build and showed it, and then I modified it after.
Oh yeah, I mean the dogs and the skirmish cav and the Nurglings will they'll beat cavalry. I mean the Nurglings are really good against greenskins too because once again they cause fear and they have physical resistance, and the greenskins have no magic damage, so they're really hard to get. They're really sticky. So like when I deploy on the flanks, I deploy the Nurglings like in front of the dogs and the skirmish cav to like eat fire, and then I use them like as like a screen for my cavalry. And then in the middle you have like the marauders, the toads, and like the big boy.
We're acknowledging that we're just playing the worst faction versus the second worst faction, so there's no kind of meta implications with this, right? Is that been acknowledged for the stream?
Come on, Brett's
I don't
so
see
much
Demons of
worse than
Chaos.
I don't. I mean, I think Nurgle's not like great, but I don't think they're as bad as people think they're.
I mean, greenskins aren't either.
Yeah, I think greenskins are decent. They're not what they used to be, but they're not terrible. I think like the 2 matchups for Nurgle that I just that are really hard are dwarves and ogre kingdoms, and then in fruit rules vampire counts because you can only bring 4 single entities. I think if it was in like the BBB ones where you can bring more single entities, I think it's a closer fight. But I mean VC's they're just kind of busted, so I don't know that I really count them right now. But
I have a ton of missiles. Does my build break any rules, by the way?
No, you can have up to 12.
Oh, okay.
I think you're within 12, but yeah, but what you'll see like as a Nurgle is a lot of people do like max missiles, and if you bring like a 20 stack that is like with mobility and stuff, it's in your stuff's pretty, because your marauders have extra health pools and like all your units have more health, and you can keep spam casting like Stream of Corruption and that miasma. You can top those units off, on the way in, so they can take the fire on the way in, and then by the time they get there, you just keep spam casting, and they'll be healthy enough, and they just start overwhelming. It's just like a slow push, and then your single entity. Everything else is like designed to like hold shit in place, and then your single entities just kill everything. Like that's really the way you play it. But it's kind of weird. It's not like they're a little bit unique compared to other factions.
I found a floating fire with no tower. It's clearly meant to be like a watchtower, but they never put the tower in the game. They just put the fire. So I'm just watching a floating fire off in the distance.
Alright.
Anyway, sorry.
It sounds like I should ready up then.
You take
if
your
that's
time.
what you're up to.
I was just showing stream some floating fire. Ace
Okay, we're on-
Grombus the Prombus!
I don't know how to use Grom.
He's a cycle charging
infantry. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cycle charging combat lord. He doesn't want to sit in a fight, but he wants to like fight, roll away, fight a different thing. Kiyama, you're fine, dude. You're fine.
And I think the one unit that Nurgle really needs to have like work properly are all the fly units. If those things actually did what they were supposed to do, that would make Nurgle so much better. having the 90 speed AP, you know, flying monstrous cavalry would be really, really strong that you can heal. But they're just terrible. They don't do anything that they're supposed to do. Keep your skirmish cav from getting. Yeah, you go. Yeah, that back.
Did you turn skirmish mode off your archers?
Yeah.
Nice. You'll love to see it.
But yeah, like using the Nurglings like that to like blunt like the charge is, and then get like counter charging and stuff on them is pretty.
Oh
Pretty
shit!
strong.
Nurglings are a lot faster than I thought they were. They're already in there.
Yeah, they're quick. They're pretty quick. And they have a really low model count. So, like what I was talking about, where you're using that the two really cheap spells to get that lore passive, because they don't lose models as quickly. They can actually stay like relatively healthy longer because of that. But you can see like the toads just like run through those goblins pretty hard, and then you just get them into the second line, and they're pretty disruptive.
You have some skirmish cav that are getting caught by my Nurglings. They need to run away.
Oh. Thanks for telling me.
Uh huh. That is the point. Alright. So I think currently you're doing the thing that I learned not to do versus Nurgle, and Lord Sniping Nurgle is actually extremely difficult. It is much easier to just kill my whole army and then kill my Lord at the end. Because you're not gonna finish him off. And meanwhile, all the stuff that's still alive is getting into your archers.
Yeah, it's a damage. It's a trap. Like he's the one fleshy. He has so much HP, and because fleshy abundance is probably it's like the most powerful heal in the game.
Yeah. Grom's doing pretty good. I'll give you props where you get props. Grom's cycle routing the front line. He's rolling dirty, staying safe. You go get involved. My toads are falling apart. Nope. Toads. No. I did kill some boar boys though. So who's the real winner here? My Nurglings are just straight up losing in melee with some of his skirmish cav. I mean, it's 2v1. It's just funny looking.
I mean, really, for like the targets you got to get rid of are like the Savage Orc Arrow boys. Like once they're gone, you win the game.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
The Frunkle is in there.
That's really the threat to you. Like, even the skirmish cav, they just don't have enough volume of fire to get through like the healing.
Yeah,
it's those static archers. Like once those static archers are gone, like as Nurgle, like really what you're trying to figure out is what do they have that can kill your single entities? Because once that's gone off the map, like if you have that hero squad, the double exalted with the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, and you kill like any like AP, like missile units and stuff like that, they become extremely hard to get rid of. And then you can win. You just win by just getting rid of that thing. Same with like these big unclean ones. It's just like the rest of your army should just try to kill whatever can kill them, because once they're gone, they can just solo tons of stuff with their healing and their Mortis engines.
That's true. You have some spider riders in the woods that are having a picnic.
What? Oh man.
I know.
Because like usually when I play Grand Cathay, I'll bring that triple hero squad, and I just try to get rid of their Jezzails and Iron Hail Gunners. And once they're gone, there's almost nothing that can kill those three on that roster. So that's, I mean, it doesn't always it doesn't always work if you can't quite take them offline. But I guess that's kind of the way to approach it.
Let's see. Alright, my little Nurglings are dying. My doggos are running around, chasing some stuff. We still have our two fat boys. We still have some pox toads.
Give the ROR. If you do, you definitely want to bring them back into the fold with the fat boys.
What if I don't wanna? What about that? How do you feel about them apples?
You live your life, man. It's your stream.
You're probably right. I just want to chase these archers off, but I guess I'll just come home. Stupid archers. Tricks are for kids.
With healing being better, why is Grom considered so bad, right?
They got.
Sorry,
Okay.
you got it.
They reduce his AP like significantly, and they nerf like his abilities. He's just not. He used to be a really good duelist, and just chariot sucks. So like all those things together.
Yeah, I was gonna say he suffered from the Manticore problem. Manticores used to be really good because on large unit size, it's like a Manticore could deal maybe 1/6 of your HP from a Horse Lord with each attack, so it takes 6 attacks to kill you. Now they deal like 1/10, so it takes them 40% longer to kill things, which is pretty significant. So Grom and Manticores benefited from large unit size by quite a bit.
And then also like the one thing the exalted great unclean one. A lot of times I like to bring him. His attack animations are a lot better at clearing multi-model units than Kugath is. Like Kugath's a better single entity duelist, and he's obviously a ranged unit. But the great unclean ones with their splash attacks, they're really good at killing like cavalry and monstrous infantry and regular infantry. So it just kind of depends on what you want them to do.
Mm-hmm. Heads up, you have some skirmish cav and archers that have rallied that need to come back to the fight. Oh, my plague bearers are crumbly. Crumbly wumbly.
Yeah, the Festering Stooges are really good in this matchup too. Sometimes I put them in.
Those weren't in the build you gave me.
No, they aren't, but I do like them here too, because they cause terror, and they have their self regen. Nurgle also has some amazing RORs. Those Barons of the Bog and the Festering Stooges are pretty powerful.
Pretty good.
But like they're great weapons. I think great weapons in general kind of struggle a little bit from their melee attack being too low, and then Nurgle further lowers their melee attack with his mark, so that's kind of a bummer. And then the flies suck. I think the toads are pretty good. I think they just need a slight. They need like 50 to 100 gold cost reduction to be like really good. I think the dogs and throwing axes are good. So their soul grounders are phenomenal. And then like all their lords and heroes are very good. I think exalted plague bearers are really good. The regular ones are kind of like demonettes and bloodletters. They're just not quite that great. I think nurglings are good. So I don't know. That's my Nurgle hot take.
What's your TED talk for the day?
That's my Nurgle TED talk for the day.
Goodbye, plague bearers. I now have dogs dealing with severe jorks.
Oh, and also the butcher bird. If the Biggin the rogue idols don't have Fist of Gork, they will not beat an exalted plague bear or Kugath. Like definitely not. So they have to have the Fist of Gork. I think you were mentioning that earlier.
I think it's time to blob.
Yeah.
The point wouldn't be to beat those. The point would be to beat everything that isn't a single entity, and then your archers and possibly magic, if you can, would do the most to the exalted.
Yeah, I've tried it before, and it's okay, but like the rogue idols suffer from like this. They're just really slow. But yeah, I mean, if they can get into melee with like infantry and stuff, but I tend to, if I'm gonna go with like a big, I don't like the whole like Kugath box thing. If I'm gonna bring like one of the big boys, I actually rather have like a wider faster army around him to neutralize the range threats, and then he's there to he's the finisher. Like once the range stuff's gone, the game's over. Like you can't beat him. I mean, that's like Korn and Slanesh are just impossible they can't beat Nurgle because unless you make a mistake or you have a bad build, because there's just no way you can beat them in a melee grind. So like once those archers are gone, it's really a really target priority. Like, you gotta get those things off the field.
So I can't snipe them, but I need to kill everything that isn't.
I mean, I guess it's
them,
with any
but
matchup,
also
but it's super crucial for them.
difficult to beat them. What do I do then?
Well, I'm
Yeah,
saying like I would rather. You can beat them with ranged attacks, obviously, right? But that's why I think like the whole Kugath box thing is a trap a lot of times, because you're gonna have a narrow army, you're gonna have limited ways to compromise their ranged assets. Whereas if you bring like one big centerpiece monster with a Mortis engine, that's your spellcaster, and you bring a lot of width around him, and you use that width to try and target prioritize anything that's ranged, then like that's I think a lot better way to play Nurgle than to bring that kind of the game the pre-Immortal Empires type of Nurgle builds,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, all your archers
got a lot of value.
All your archers paid for themselves and some, so they did pretty good. I think like it's not a very, I mean, it's not a very like nuanced thing to say, but most of your issues are just like routing units, or realizing when skirmish cav are getting harassed, they need to move. It's like, yeah, just micro faster, hooray! I mean, that stuff comes with practice, but yeah.
Yeah, this matchup, the micro is definitely more on the greenskin player than it is on the Nurgle player. So like,
Okay. Well, yeah, that's. I mean, that's going to be the case for anyone who's really shooting focused, right?
Yeah.
Like anyone who's more shooting focused needs more micro, typically.
And
Right?
I think also like factions that have low leadership, and I mean, Human Boy knows like Skaven, Greenskins, Beastmen, anything where you're gonna have a lot of routing units coming like in and out, and also those factions all usually play better with like larger armies, which means you have more to manage. So I think they're kind of a little more micro intensive than some other factions.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, hopefully some of the stuff that we mentioned was helpful in some way, and then like, I mean, you're in the Discord, you can always ask questions and stuff, but a big amount of it's just like, practice, playing a bunch, getting on quick battles and defeating a bunch of Nurgle blobs.
Yeah.
Hey, can we just talk about the unit selection? I dropped out a bit, but I think that the greenskin skirmish, which used to be absolutely hardcore meta in Game 2, is just very ineffective. It's almost always wasted resources in Game 3.
I like the RORs still. Like the Mogram's Mangy Marauders is super good,
Yeah.
and the Depth Creepers, but like the regular ones, they're a little underwhelming for sure. They don't have the same impact as they used to.
Like, I mean, I think you have to bring some, but just like only up to 3 units maximum. That they're just really not getting value out of anything.
Yeah, it's tricky. Like you really need to like use Brain Burster and like what the fuck is the cone spell now? I can't.
Yeah, I was using that a lot.
Yeah, to just try to clear out chaff, and then try to use your like Spider Riders and stuff like that to get rid of the dogs, and then keep your archers like. You just got to keep them online for the end of the game to get through the monster, because that's you have to have them, those foot archers. The other thing that can work is I've used Doom Divers before. They actually hit they do a lot of damage to those unqueen ones, but then your you're playing like a static build, and it's tricky to keep them online. But they will do a lot of damage to the big monsters.
Can someone teach me Bretonnia real quick? A quick crash course.
The bird's here. He's
Yeah, bird's on top of it.
Where's Bird?
Yeah, I mean, don't usually you just go to the build screen and you select Bretonnia, and then you select another faction after you realize they're not very good?
Nah, dude, Bretonnia's super good. They're the best. I mean,
Bretonnia's probably the worst faction right now. Maybe demons are worse.
Whoa. We know that Nurgle's the worst, so you cannot, there's a competition for second place.
Is Bretonnia that bad right now?
Nurgle has good matchups.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a few matchups where Nurgle, like especially like Slaanesh and Khorne, it's literally unwinnable for them. So I mean, there's you got two. That's right there. But I think they have some better. I think some of their matchups are better than people think. I just think a lot of people are stuck in like the pre-IE Nurgle type builds, which I think they're a trap, especially now that there's so many factions with cheap archers. It's just not the way to play them.
Well, I have a question. So I went with Savage Orcs because they have Frenzy, so at least at the start they're not taking fear or terror penalties. But I'm wondering, like, is that a good idea? Like, is that worth the extra cost? Because they don't have any armor, and the demons all do magic damage, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the part of the reason I like to bring the Toads is also because of Savage Orcs, and just for that reason. But I don't think that the Savage Orc and Savage Orc Biggins are nearly as good as they used to be, because in Warhammer 2 there was less magic damage, so that physical resistance was a lot more impactful, and now it's just like fucking everywhere. They were like Oprah Winfrey, just giving it away to everybody. So
I mean, does every base game faction in 3 have like just their high tier everything, and demons everything they have is magic?
I mean, just anything that's a demon has magic, whether it's low or high tier. So I think they need to like maybe rework the Savage Orcs to make them make more sense now. But I don't know what I would maybe they just give like a flat 15% damage resist, like magic and physical. But I don't know. I don't have the
full on ward save.
There's also the charge stuff.
What's that?
Units charge so much worse now. So, like, Savage Orc Biggins and stuff lost that too.
Oh, yeah, they're really reliant. Well, even just, like, Beastmen and Greenskins in general, their infantry has a much higher charge bonus than most other factions, and the bigger model count on Ultra, it means that your charge touches less of the actual units. So, when it wears off, but before... when a Biggin would hit a unit, they're hitting a lot more of the unit on large with that charge bonus, and they would buzzsaw and break the formation a lot faster. And now they just don't. I mean, they don't, because they're not hitting as many units with the charge.
Yeah, there's also rectified with allowing us to situate our infantry units a little bit wider with ultra size.
I don't understand the question.
Yes,
instead of have only do you think it would be a positive change? Is what I mean.
If you could get a larger aspect ratio, it's possible that would improve it. But I don't think that's what. I don't think that would have other impacts. Like, you would start getting extremely wide boxes if things weren't as square as they were in terms of the maximum formation sizing width.
But would that be a negative or a positive thing overall in the game if they hadn't?
I think that the way you fix it is you start giving things higher relative charge bonuses than they had when you switch to Ultra from large, so they can do the same percentage damage hit when they hit relative.
I gotta run for 1 minute.
Also, it's not a thing people do, but if you made it so that your units could be wider, people would just do that fist-tech formation thing where the units getting charged are boxes instead of lines. And even though your units would be spread super wide, they wouldn't really be making much contact with the enemy infantry.
They would wrap around the flanks a little bit. They'd still have more surface area to fight against.
Not so somewhat, but charges are super derpy right now. Like they're just not going to finish the charge a lot of the models. I don't know what it is, but it just happens.
Yeah, charges suck now. Charges
Yeah,
are
that's
big
kind of
deal.
why Britannia sucks too, because like one knight model will charge into a unit, and then the whole knight unit will stop instead of all of the models making contact.
Counterpoint, Bretonia's already OPs. They don't need any more help.
How is Britannia actually in the meta? How's it situated?
In the meta, not very good. Game by game, they're okay. I mean, they're serviceable versus non like super top tier factions, or like, and when we talk about meta, it's always with the umbrella of like two even players playing against each other, right? If you outskill your opponent, you can win with any faction.
Most anything.
Yeah.
I will say that a big thing with Britannia right now, I think that the lance formation is actually very strong, and but only against infantry, because the extra mass isn't going to help if you're hitting enemy cavalry or any monstrous infantry, but it will allow you to punch through frontline infantry very quickly. So if you want to compromise backlines like that, or if you just want to turn around very quickly, so that your models aren't getting caught, you can just hit, and it makes free charges into the front line very useful. And you need to be really aggressive with your cavalry, but you also need to defend your backlines. So you need to be microing a lot, because you need to be going in and out of lance formation depending on what you're hitting. And you need to make sure that your very squishy archers are staying alive, because that's where most of your damage is coming, other than your knights. Because those peasant archers have 90 models, they're going to do a ton of damage if they can keep firing, but anything like a stiff breeze will make them rout.
Blood Penguin, you have a very sensual voice.
It's very soothing.
Very soothing. Can you can I abduct you, and then can you read me bedtime stories?
I mean,
Let's not get more demonetized than we
I don't
already
know how
have.
to, I don't know how to respond to that.
You could just hire him. You don't need to abduct him.
That's true. Will you work for one peanut butter jelly sandwich a day?
Oh, I don't like peanut butter or jelly.
What?
But bread's pretty cool.
Hey, bread is pretty cool. You win this round.
He always has a positive outlook on life. It's like, I'm allergic to peanut butter. I hate jelly, but you know what? I'll eat the bread.
There you go. I've transitioned to playing They Are Billions because
it's a fun game.
It is a fun game. Also, I do need to get going.
Game. Okay.
So, hi, Blood
Thank
Penguin.
you, human boy.
The last interview question I have before I leave forever is Blood Penguin. Everybody hates Kislev and they think they're a bad faction. Why are they not a bad faction?
Oh, that's actually why I joined the chat, because I heard everyone shit talking Kislev.
That definitely wasn't me. Okay.
Here's your soapbox. How does Kislev not suck?
So Kislev is the biggest thing is that armored Kossars are very good at defending your backline. They are very bad as a frontline unit. They're just not, their stats aren't terrible, and I'm not exactly sure why they're so bad at holding the front line. Maybe it's their low model count, but 90 pistol shots is amazing with 6 ammunition, but they need to get all those pistol shots off to be useful. So I find that they're very good at defending your backline, but if you're trying to make a front line with them, then they're just going to disappoint you. Also, your entire army is pretty expensive, so you can save a lot of money by making a very cheap lord. I generally do only Ice Maiden's Kiss, only Blizzard on a caster lord, or if I need to not get sniped, because Stalton's really good, and if I really want to kill something, Boris is good as well. But
Holy shit, I didn't know you and Bird even had mics. First of all, let me just say that.
Oh.
I didn't realize that you and Bird were the same person with the same voice. That was what I didn't realize.
Does my voice sound like that? I don't think it does.
Yes.
Yeah, does my voice sound like his voice?
It does.
No.
It's the same voice. I'm pretty sure that's just the same person talking to me in my head right now.
And I didn't have a mic. My parents used to not allow me to go on voice chat because I was young, and they were frightened of me being abducted by random internet strangers.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean,
Well,
that's
to be fair,
Like
threaten
two blokes, one coat. Like that guy.
I did threaten to adopt a blood penguin, so.
It was not that long ago, but there was almost an abduction right here.
It was we just saw it go by and we didn't even react. It was just like, whatever. If it happens, it happens.
You can always trust people on the internet, right?
Always.
Your kiss lip thing. I didn't know.
Oh, I will say, Streltsy are like probably the best unit on the roster, and it's really hard to justify not bringing at least one of them. They're quite tanky. They deal with a lot of damage, and all you gotta do is keep them alive. But again, this is the same thing with the pistols, with the archers from Britannia. It's 90 models, and they will deal a lot of damage. But you gotta keep them alive. You gotta keep them shooting. So, and you don't have a lot of money to do it with. And my hot spicy take, because I know a lot of people like them a lot, I don't really like the dervishes. They don't seem to do a lot. If I need to dive into enemy artillery positions, then they're really good at suicide cabbing in, but they don't deal a lot of damage, and most of the time I'm using my cab to defend my backline. I don't really care about attacking the enemy backline, which is where the Warbear Riders are fantastic for that. They're very tanky, and with a Patriarch they can last a very long time. Winged Lancers, they're okay. You really need to make sure that they are using that 70 charge bonus and just bouncing around, because if they stick in a fight, they're just really bad Empire Knights. In Griffin Legion, I kind of like them sometimes. They are a little bit tankier than Winged Lancers, so if I slip up my micro, I don't get punished as hard.
Hey, Penguin, I never see you working like sleds, but I've always thought that the heavy sleds were very good, even maybe the best charging chariot in the game, but you never seem to incorporate them in your builds.
Yeah, I used to try to use the sleds, but they seem really clunky now. If they get a good charge, they can be great and they can plow through infantry, but they have a problem with trying to turn around, which I think it's just a model bug, but when they try to turn around, they get caught and they take a lot of shots in melee. So it makes it so that charging into more dangerous fights against spearmen or against enemy infantry that has high weapon strength can be dangerous, and they can take a lot more damage than I would like. And also, again, I'm using my infantry very defensively, or I'm using my cavalry very defensively, and spending 1350 is just a Warbear Rider almost.
I have a quick question. So when you say that the armored Kossar is better used as a defending your backline, do you mean that is in a sense of like the old Antistony Vampire Coast builds where you just have his defense on the backline was literally just more handgunners shooting whatever would attack the backline? Is that what you mean?
Yes, very much like that, because if push comes to shove, I'm gonna throw them into melee to defend my Streltsy, but otherwise, instead of charging into melee, they're just shooting. It makes Kislev very strong against factions that are trying to use skirmish cav, because the skirmish cav just can't really get in because they're just gonna get pistoled. And it also makes them strong. I know that someone asked about what factions that Kislev is good against. And I would say that they're okay against any faction that can't hit them with a lot of AP missiles or charge them with a lot of AP units. Like, Beastmen can be very scary because they can get up in them, and with Razor Gores and Minotaurs can just deal a ton of damage.
Yeah, I feel like
I have another question then.
and Greenskins are... Oh, go ahead.
What would be your preferred frontline then?
It's very matchup dependent, because if I am expecting that I have to be the aggressor, so against Vampire Coast, my build is just a ton of archers. I'm gonna use the Kossars, and my front line will be very thin. It'll be like 3 armored Kossars, and the rest will just be regular Kossars and Streltsy, because I'm just gonna try to take apart and shoot the army. Against
I can confirm that that what he says is what he brings.
Yeah.
he does it very effectively too.
But then against, if I'm going to get charged, if I'm expecting to get rushed, you kind of have to go Zargard if you even want to hold the front line, because again, the armored Kossars, if they're trying to fight, they're just gonna get picked apart by most units of any quality. And even like Empire Swordsman will deal a lot more damage to armored Kossars than you would like. But you can go Zargard, and if you want to win the front line, armored or Zargard with great weapons are really strong. If they're gonna get shot, it's a little scary to bring them, but otherwise, they just deal a lot of damage to other frontline infantry, with the bonus first large and the armor, or bonus first infantry and the armor piercing. They can really just win the frontline engagements and then turn around and help stabilize backline.
Which one, the great weapons?
Yeah, the great weapons. The Zargard without great weapons are really good at holding, but
they have a shit ton of melee defense. Oh my lord.
Yeah, they have 50 melee defense. They have the silver shields, and the By Our Blood passive is going to make it so that the front line holds for a very long time.
10 bonus.
But they don't kill things very well.
Oh no, of course. But yeah.
That's what the shooting comes in. So if you want to hold the front line, then Zargard with great weapons, or Zargard normally.
Would you suggest would you suggest doing I suppose Kislev can't really go wide with their limitation on ranged units, because they all have a bunch of hybrids, don't they?
Yeah, going wide is just bringing a lot of cost, like a shooting line and having no real front line, and just trying to pull enemies apart. That's where the winged lancers get really good, because you can they are really good at charging spread out infantry. But
micro, you can do
it. Yeah, it can be a very micro intensive faction, but also if you play defensively with Zargard and Warbears, it can be like, you can box around it, or you can do the classic box around an elemental bear with some bear riders and have no fun.
How good is the elemental bear?
I personally don't like it at all.
Yeah, elemental bear sucks.
Yeah, if you can get all 3 breath attacks off, it can be really good, but getting it out of melee for long enough to breath attack is really hard. It's not flying, so it can't go back into the sky to get its breath attacks.
Is the Hydra syndrome?
Yeah, and the leopard is also weak. It just dies really quickly. And this is the reason I don't really take the Guardian's Call or the Snow Leopard summon on the Ice Witch, just because Snow Leopards have seemed very weak recently. But
why do you think that is? Do you think it's some sort of just engine interaction that they tweaked behind the scenes on one of the recent patches? Or do you think it's just people have created builds that are better against dealing with it?
What map are you on, Human Boy?
I think that the biggest problem is
map I was just playing on?
Very low mass.
Narrow pass.
So if what its target is runs through an infantry group, then the Snow Leopard just gets caught, and it's got low armor, low health. It just takes a ton of damage and dies.
All right. All of you have made wonderful points. All of you are great. I'm going away now. I'm going to get a snack and then go to bed.
No.
Oh no.
Can you tell us a bedtime story? Oh, do you know any German bedtime stories? They're the best.
Once upon a time, there were two bunnies. All right, these bunnies loved each other very much. They lived in a meadow. One day, they decided to have kids. Now, being bunnies, they had 15. They had 15 kids. 5 of them had names. 10 didn't. Okay. Number 2 out of the 10 that didn't have a name went to school one day. And when he came home, his parents were like, "You shouldn't go to school. You're a rabbit. That doesn't make any sense." And he said, "No, fuck you, Mom. I do what I want. I'm going to go learn with the human kids." So he kept going to learn with the human kids. And on day 3, one of the human kids actually saw him. And we're in like 1720, right? So rabbits are actually eaten on a pretty regular basis. They'll eat whatever. So this kid gets torn apart, eaten alive, never goes home. So the 14 other kids go, school's for chumps. And there's your bedtime story.
Thank you. I greatly appreciated it. Though I do believe that you're misrepresenting Germans and thinking that they don't cook their rabbits before they eat them, and I think that's very racist of you.
That's fair. I did have to go for the dark because the German bedtime stories are always kind of fucked up. So then it was like,
they're amazing. Oh my god.
So this kid has
Germans don't grab wild animals by their live necks and just like reach into their stomachs and pull out the meat and just eat it right there. Yeah, they just reach in there and pull it out.
Maybe when they were back in Roman times.
Are you saying that how
this
I
never happened?
Is wrong?
This never happened.
I mean, who knows what the Celts did? They didn't write anything down.
Dang Celts.
I'm pretty sure they didn't go through the throat of an animal and bring the meat out.
No. They don't go through the throat, right? They just grab it by the throat, and then they just reach into the stomach region and pull out the meat. Yeah.
The meaty
through
part.
the skin.
Yeah, they pull out the meat. They reach in and they pull out the meat.
Strat. All right. If this surprises you, tell me, how do you eat a hot dog?
How do you eat a hot dog?
No, they went to Costco and bought a hot dog. That's how they ate back then. I know that. That's how I eat.
Yeah, you gotta hold the hot dog vertically, reach into the center, grab a chunk of it, and shove it into your mouth. This isn't that hard to understand.
They go to the hot dog tree, grab the hot dog, and then eat it. That's how people eat meat. Yeah.
Sausages are in a casing. You reach into the casing and you pull out the meat. It's packaged that way for convenience.
Yeah. Yep, that's
how bunnies are packaged for convenience.
They're in this big insulated container.
Yeah.
Oh god, you're right.
I'm leaving. You're all pleasant.
That's how you eat rats too.
Oh no.
All right, everybody.
I hope that was entertaining for you. Just kind of a chill late night experience. I'm in my jammies, had some tea, didn't have the camera, and I was just having a good time. So yeah, hopefully that was something. Goodbye.